When I see you dancing, I'm like, hola, 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 hola. With your move fancy, make me wanna hola, 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 hola. I got your attention, spending that moolah, 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 moolah. I'm a drop top in pocket, swola, 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 swola. Swola, 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 swola. Swola, 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 swola. When I see you dancing, I'm like, hola, 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 hola. Your move fancy, make me wanna hola, 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 hola. I got your attention, spending that moolah, 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 moolah. I'm a drop top in pocket, swola, 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 swola. Your attention, spending that moolah, 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 moolah. I'm a drop top in pocket, swola, 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 swola. Swola, 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 swola. Swola, 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 swola. Swola, 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 swola. Swola, 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 swola.
Fallen one too many times, feeling like it never ends. Back again, square one. Tried to leave myself behind, looking for a better place, not to stay alone. Gain our trust and you chose to break it. Ask for truth, but you only fake it. Thought you said what we had was sacred. It's all lies, all lies. I was broken and isolated, but inside held the fire waiting. Not a word that you say can save this, so don't try, 'cause this time you crossed the line. Funny how the tables turned. Didn't think I'd go this far, but here we are, the end.
How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to another stream. Hope you boys are having a wonderful, beautiful day. How's it going, everybody? Welcome back, boys. Welcome back. Hope all of y'all are having a motherfucking good one. Hope all of you are having a great, wonderful afternoon and or evening and or morning. Hope all of you are ready for some 5v5 1v1 duels. We got even more duels over on the NA, boys. Over on the NA. Is my mic good? Is my audio good? Is my thing loud enough? Let me check, because apparently every time I've been in Discord with a couple of buddies while we're doing some keys over this week, they keep saying that my mic just sounds so quiet, so they have to turn me up to like that Discord 200. And my guilty sometimes are just like, Dal, I can't fucking hear you. What are you talking? When are we doing like raids and call outs and stuff? And I'm like, oh my god, dude. I keep having to wiggle this and see, okay, is it actually at it? Like, this is a really good mic, but I think it's the software that's doing something weird. The mic itself just sometimes resets. And I don't think it's the mic. Again, I think it's the software. Because as soon as I turn it off, I lose all that extra bassiness to the voice. But it also stops doing that thing as well. Hope y'all are having a good one. Reed, what is up? What's up, Shadow Elf? We got us some Chill Pills. We got us some Bloody Halo. We got us some Chicago. Ready to go with Isaac as well as Patrick. How you boys all doing? Let me get the music back up and running, boys. Let me get the music back up and running, boys. Hope all of y'all are having a wonderful, though. I like this one. I don't know why. It's just kind of got that jam to it, you know what I mean? It's got that jam to it. I don't even know how to describe it, but I like it. I like that modulated voice thing. You know what I mean? Alrighty. On to the duels for today. What's up, Turnus? How you doing, my man? Hope you're having a good one, my dude. Let's get the groups up and running today, boyos. We got Chicago here, and I guess maybe we can get Chill Pills once he gets his group up and running. Hope all of you having a good one, boys. Let's get back on that grind. We got the DH back in the... maybe we can go exploring the Arden Wheel while we're at it. Actually, maybe I should just park the character back in Ouroboros. Might just do that, because I feel like having the tunes parked in Ouroboros, I don't know, it's just kind of the place to be. I used to have the Dalaran, you know, the Krasrang landing area. Is that what I call it? Krasrang? I don't... The flight path area, right? That used to be like the place that would chill all my tunes that were doing the duel stuff. You know what I mean, boys? That was just the place. Let's go back there, man. Not there, but Ouroboros. Ouroboros will be the new place. I feel like just having like a place where we could just chill. Wait, this thing can glide? Hold on. Oh, it's actually gliding. You can't see the wings, but it actually can glide. That's so much more mobility. 2 out of 5 on Horde. Let's go, boys. What's up, Sebex? What's up, Jimmy? How you doing, boys? All doing? Welcome back. Welcome back. Let me set up my stuff here, and we'll be good to go. Chicago! Whisper me when your group is ready, fam, so we can get you guys up and running ASAP. Yo, how does the leather set look on a DH? Actually, can I not do the thing? Yes, wait. Nope, wrong thing. Okay, hold on. Leather set, how does that look like on them? Can you do one without the robe? Oh, the renowned one looks really cool. Winterborn. Oh, that looks kind of cool. Oh, that looks kind of neat. If I actually had a DH and Night Fate, that actually wouldn't look bad at all. You know what I mean? Yo, should I change my druid from Night Fate to Venthyr? I actually was thinking legitimately to change my druid from Night Fate to Venthyr. I thought the Venthyr ability would always be kind of cool. Big R. Alright, Chicago, you're ready. We just need a +1 and we'll be good to go for the day, boyos. We just need a +1 for the NA duels and we'll be good to go. Hey, Dal, what's up, Rogue? How you doing, fam? Hope you are having a good one. Let me do the thing I did yesterday with the 5V5 1V1 duel info to just... Representing those easy. Hold on, can I pause this whole thing? No, I can't. Okay. Here we go. Yeah, here we go. And now we can pin it. Cool. Now we have rules in terms of how to join in the 5V5 1V1 duels pinned to the stream. What's up, Timson? How you doing, my man? Hey, how are you? What's up, Nag? How you doing, my dude? Hope you're having a good one. I'm doing good. How are you? I'm doing great, man. I actually got to talk to a buddy of mine who found some time and started playing some more WoW. So I was just helping him pick a covenant, man. His shaman, he was kind of really into the Night Fate covenant. So I told him like what's meta. I told him what's best right now for every spec. I told him what people are playing, what I make the choice for. And once I told him that you get a storyline with Bon Samdi as a Night Fate, he was like, I'm sold. BFA didn't really have a lot of good things, but Bon Samdi is one of the best characters they've ever brought into the game. BFA, the one thing they did right is bring Bon Samdi and make that into a thing, you know what I mean? Huge fan of that. Oh my god, the Night Fae Demon Hunter has so much mobility. Double leap into a port, into a glide? That's actually insane. Works only with trolls? Really? There are 5 Horde. Let's go, Chill Pills. If anybody wants to join Chill Pills, boys, you go to LFG, go to Player vs. Player Premium Group, Custom PvP, find the group, type number 5, enter to see there's a group up and running. Listen, there's 2 over on the Horde, and maybe more on the Alliance for 5v5 1v1 Duels, boys. Milord trying to make one together. We got Night King, Matukes, Wish Captain on the other team. Let's go, boys. Let's go. Absolutely love him. Yo, he's absolutely dope, man. All the other classes have no reason to Bon Samdi. True. He does play a Xander Troll Shaman, so I guess it would work out. But I like Bon Samdi, dude. You know what I mean? So yeah, a buddy of mine is going to be playing the Night Fae Shaman. I think Night Fae Shaman could potentially have something cool about it, dude. The mobility you have is insane. With Ghost Wolf and with the teleport. Some of the soul binds you get are also pretty neat. Like the pod, I think, helps out the class as well. Technically, you can build Draxel and you can get that cheat death, but it's not a true cheat death. It's just like, it's not a cheat death. What would you call it? What would you call it? It's not a cheat death. I don't even know what you would really call it. I feel like there's another mechanic you could describe. 80 classes are Night Fae meta, to be honest. Lots of classes, yes, but Shaman's generally not a meta. I haven't read him out, like, what the percent chance, or what is the percent people that plays, how, by the way, is the mic loud? Is the mic clipping, by the way? Hopefully the mic isn't clipping for you guys. Hopefully it sounds good for you on your end. Yeah, let me know if I need to lower it down a little bit, if it's clipping. Delaying the inevitable, true. Fighting the pod, dude. Fighting pod. I mean, I think pod is pretty good. And for Shamans to have that kind of a cheat death mechanic isn't bad. Anyway, I told him, like, this is where Night Fae is at. This is how many people are playing Night Fae in terms of percentage. Sound great to me. Awesome. But I told him, like, all the info, like, hey, Night Fae sound a little quiet? Really? Because it's, like, peaking on my OBS. Like, it's in the red every time I talk. And not especially when I yell! Actually, I think the compression comes in when I'm yelling. But yeah, had you just turned down? I guess it would work. Reincarnation, basically cheating death. I guess reincarnation is, but that's the second reincarn. That is second reincarn. Sounds fine to me. Awesome. What's your rarest mount? I really don't know. That's a good question. What is the rarest mount that I have? I don't think there's a lot. I know there's a Sunhide Grondling that I had for the longest. I guess Sunhide Grondling would be my rarest mount, because that one would spawn like... Corridor Creeper, I guess, is not that rare, is it? Not really. Let me see. Sunhide Grondling. There he is. Like, this guy would spawn like once every 4 days or something. I guess that would be my rarest mount that I have. I'm not really an Asmongold in terms of mounts, you know what I mean? Still in the pixie compression is fine. I guess compression is doing work. You know what I mean? Alrighty, boys. We just need one more group and we gotta sell somebody versus Chicago. And we're good to go, boys. But yeah, a buddy of mine, he was Ryan. Some of you guys might know who I'm talking about when I say the words Ryan. Basically, it was like, yo, what Covenant? And I told him, okay, here's the meta. Here's what everybody plays. Here is the percentage of players playing Night Fae. But also, here's, like, for rogues, for example, they tell you that you need to be Kyrian or Night Fae in order to do anything good for PvE. But the top Mythic Plus rogue is Necrolord. And I think second top on Radar IO was Ventier. So, like, there's Shadowpriest playing Night Fae and getting Gladiator, like rank 1 Glad at 2800 MMR. So, like... how bad could it be? 4 out of 5 for Night King, 3 out of 5 for Milord. It looks like Night King is ready. We're going to throw Night King against Chicago. Chicago and Night King. Yo, by the way, boys, nerfs this Tuesday. Anyone excited? Anybody excited? No more new moons. No more Word of Glories. No more none of that. Shields are nerfed for fire mages. I don't think it's going to make those classes extinct in the meta. But I do think it's going to make them a little bit less OP. Let me also add some of these songs to the Duels mix, by the way. I like this one a lot. I don't know why. And the next one, hold on. Did I add this one? I did. Okay, yo, we can do a Duels mix, and we got 2 new tunes to roll with today, boys. You guys ready? We got more 5-5s on the way, boy. Yo, that is time for some motherfucking duels here today, boys. Time for some more duels. Did I announce it on? Oh, I didn't. Okay. Yeah. Here we go. Here we are. Here we are, boys. Here we go. We got ourselves a couple druids here, man. Playing around with the new moon before it gets nerfed. Switch. We got ourselves Team 1 together with Chicago playing that elemental shaman for the day. We got ourselves Calcios as a Boomy with Peachy throwing out some new moons before those get nerfed with Broken in here, as well as War Grand. On the opposite team, we got ourselves Suracras as a Windwalker, Oloktar with Chill Streak in the back. We got ourselves Brew Captain, as well as first up is going to be Bully Malone as a Kyrian Paladin. Getting hit with a root as Calcius goes in for a couple of rats from a distance. Is going to get an Eclipse rolling with big Incarnation immediately. Star Surge flying. Bear form as they go for a Hodge as Bully Malone going to take a bit of that damage back from the Boomy. Doing some damage himself with wings. Going to be a knockback by Callus as they're dipping under. Trying to land himself a couple of regrows. Bully Malone catching up on all that health, back up into a disarm as he gets up close with a Shield of Vengeance, hoping that Shield of Vengeance pops next to Callus. Continuing to bully Callus, going for the trinket off the bash. Callus might be in a really bad spot, trying to juke away from him. Doesn't get any more healing, needs himself frenzy region to stay alive. Bully Malone catching up, mobility roar for the Hodge. It doesn't look like that roar is gonna last long. Callus does have to go for a trinket here. I think trying to go for a Shadow Meld, didn't quite potentially get himself a good Shadow Meld. Not good knockback on the Bully Malone though with Convoke the Spirits from afar, going for some damage, but Bully Malone got himself self-heals. Looks like no new moves for Callus and has to play the defensive game a little bit longer. Does land into someone to Bully Malone, switching forms to get out of the slow. It looks like they do gain some distance away from Bully Malone. Next Hodge by the Paladin could be huge though, so Callus better stay away from him as best as possible. It's going to recover a lot of health with a Frenzy regen. Roar onto Bully with a Cycler right after. Going to be a nice bit of CC onto the Paladin for a little bit as Callus gets himself a little bit of a breather. Trying to go for Integral Roots. Hand of Freedom available for Bully Malone. Hoping for the Hodge right now. Disarm onto Bully. Still goes for the Hodge either way. Has a bit of damage that he can use without the weapon. Does go for at least one Tempers in there. Knockback coming out for Callus as they do recover a little bit of health with the knock. Perfect opportunity for the knocks in order to get away from the Paladin. Disengage from him for just a moment. Star Surge is flying for Callus. Doing quite a bit of damage to Bully though. 3 Star Surges in fact with a bash to follow right after him. And Bully is most likely just going to get some recovery up above. If Callus had an interrupt, does go for the interrupt right here. Do they have the damage to follow up? Not a lot of Star Surge power, or Astral power rather, in order to do much here. Does someone to Bully, does hold on to a bubble as well as a bop. Could use either one of those in this situation, probably a bubble. Does some wings back up. Hodge is not going to be wings for Bully Malone. Trying to make some damage happen. Is going to go for Word of Glories. Does go for wings with the Toll the Bell. Calciel's taking lots of damage right now. Roar onto Bully without any dots. Does get a full roar onto the Paladin. Still has hammers that he's thrown out. Judgments as well as Hammers of Reckoning are still doing a lot of damage, but Callus is nowhere near inside. Does go for a regrowth. Spam with Integral Roots. Bully Malone does have a head of freedom on it. Typhoon does not really throw the Paladin far enough out and is getting hit with a disarm. Waiting for that Hodge a little bit later. No longer has wings though, so Bully is kind of running out of cooldowns here to deal damage. Callus, Boppin and Barkskin does use to trinket that Hodge. That's going to be a slow, but Bully immediately as soon as he does go for that shift port. And Callus is not in a good spot. Still, does he get a good recovery? He does not get recovery. So it looks like Bully Malone is going to end up taking the first win here, with Chicago going to be up next as an Elemental Shaman. Try to go for a Stormkeeper. Doesn't get a rebuke out of Bully. Does. So it's going to be a nice juke for that cast. Does have the zaps onto Bully with an Elemental available. Could drop the big Meteor from the alley. Big Divine Toll coming down for Bully. It's a lot of resource available. Does go for the bubble. Chicago got some kind of pressure rolling. No trinket from Chicago so far, as Bully is able to catch himself a little bit of the recovery. That Word of Glory is getting nerfed by 20% in PvP. Next Tuesday update, boys. Bully so far has been able to recover quite a bit with Word of Glory spam. Had to only do a few casts where he had to go for a Flash of Light. But the Word of Glories is what's really keeping him alive. Getting reduced by 20%. I still think the Word of Glories are going to be a nice emergency heal. but I don't think they're going to be nearly as effective just overall, though. Hodge onto Chicago, not really taking too much damage. The Elemental Shaman is super tanky, not getting rebuked by Bully. Trying to see if he can juke a cast on him. And Bully's taking a bit of damage back from Chicago with a lasso after. No bubble available. I think Chicago actually has him low enough, and that's going to be a massive Word of Glory by Bully. That's what I think Blizzard is trying to curb by reducing that by 20%. Bully Malone wouldn't be at 75% health. It'd be close to like 50ish or so, which still would be a nice emergency heal, but not nearly as effective as it was just now. Big wings available for Bully as he goes in for a Hodge onto Chicago, forcing the chicken out of the Shaman, turning around with some zaps back at the Paladin. And Bully still has wings, massive wings rolling. Big knockback by Chicago, looking for a Hex. And that's going to be a nice Hex on the wings from Bully. Has a Primordial Bolt ready for Bully, but he does have the wings and the Word of Glory. Massive heals from it. Lightning Lasso does stop him in place for a second. Does cancel Lasso at the last second for a Lava Burst. The Bully is still kind of low. Never mind. Just resets it. No wonder they're nerfing Word of Glory. It was basically in that kill potential. One Word of Glory, he's back up to full. No wings that time, no nothing. Chicago knocking Bully down, does also jump away, trying to make the max range away from the guy. No wonder they're nerfing the Word of Glory, boys. Did you see that? I mean, he just popped off. Divine Toll does come out for Bully. I don't think he gets a good proc there. With a lasso for Chicago, does get Bully Malone low again. Is that Word of Glory going to save him? Shield of Vengeance available. I think he's just actually just trying to get low on health, so Word of Glory has bigger value. We're out of the 6 minutes of this duel. 7% dampener, boys. Flashkick coming out for Chicago. Does get hit with a Hodge, though. Knockback onto Bully. Hoping for that Shield of Vengeance, I guess, to pop next to Chicago. It does pop, but not the biggest damage. Shield of Vengeance got to get a lot lower in Absorb before it does a lot of damage back to the enemy. Bully still sustaining himself with the Word of Glory, is bullying Chicago around. Does bully him out of that Lava Burst cast. Into a Hex Chicken coming out. Last to follow. I think he's actually out of it. Looks at Chicago. Does have him locked down. Did not get opportunity to land a Word of Glory. And if that Paladin had a global in between, he did not use that on the Word of Glory. Brute Captain going to be up next. Monk getting knocked back for a second with a slow by Chicago. Has the Frost Shock slows, which he should be spamming basically all the time on anybody he's playing against. Maybe looking for another knockback. Wouldn't have it for a second. Lexi coming over. Brute Captain with a Fist of Fury flying at Chicago. Chicago taking a bit of that damage. Wall is available. Does get himself the Earth Shield rolling, so he should be nice and healthy. Lightning Lasso onto Brew. Does also throw down Capacitor Stun, which is going to put him super DR. Brew actually find himself super giga low in health. And is going to try to line aside Chicago for a second. Catching up on the heels. Primordial Bolt out of Chicago has a nice setup. Fist of Fury flying with a Zuen. Could be anyone's game as big Earthshocks are still flying from Chicago. Do they get maybe a big Lava Burst setup onto Brew? Do you go for a knockback, trying to go for a heal? Do they get a juke? Do juke a cast from Brew? Try to go for a Hex under Brew. Primordial Bolt still hits. I don't know if they have a Lava Burst ready. Stormkeeper, maybe they have the big instant cast wombo combo. Does go for a diffuse magic. That's a lot of magic damage denied with a lasso as Chicago makes quite a bit of range. Brute Captain hopefully looking for a karma, trying to stay next to Chicago as best possible. Do they get a kick? Do they get not juked yet? Not juked yet. Could go for the interrupt. That's going to be Chicago get hit with the Fist of Fury. Going for Ghost Wolves instead. Might need to go for and actually heal themselves. And I don't know if Chicago has used the Earth Elemental yet. They might have. There goes the Earth Elemental, by the way. Wall's going to be available for Chicago. Does use that Earth LE stun in order to gain at least one heal for themselves. In cap by Brews. He's actually looking for a bit of a reset with Chicago. I guess he's just feeling like, you know what? I'm kind of out of cooldowns. I haven't put too much pressure on Chicago so far. Maybe time to go for a bit of a reset. Oh, no. I just noticed my details at the bottom right. That's still active. Can I somehow... I feel like that happens on NA all the time. I don't know why. Brute Captain find himself super low. Carver does come out. Has a big Lava Burst. Earthshock Wombo combo does come in for Chicago. Not enough to take down the Monk. Is going to go for an in-cap. The Karma. He isn't playing good Karma. He does play Ring of Peace. So he should be utilizing the Ring of Peace to zone out the enemy all the time and interrupt casts. I feel like he should be using that more regularly, unless that thing has been on cooldown the whole time. I feel like the CD for that thing is like 30 seconds. It's pretty short. 45 maybe. We probably should be seeing that more often in this duel. Brute Captain not playing the good Karma does put him in a bit of a defensive stance, because Karma isn't even the final wall. All it does is stop some of the damage, but it doesn't stop him from gaining health. Going to be tricky for that lane, for that light lasso. Tricky coming out for Chicago as well. Knocking Brew back. I messed up. I always called him Drew for some reason. Stormkeeper coming out for Chicago. trying to get some damage rolling. Wall is up. You're choosing to use the wall right now. Healing Surge is coming out. No interrupts available for Brew Captain as he eats a full hex. Does Chicago have a new setup? He does throw down a Primordial Bolt. Has big lightning in his hands. Could maybe go for big Lava Burst setup. Lightning comes out. Big zaps available. Do the throw out the Lava Burst. I didn't think we saw a meatball. Into a lasso. Brew Captain might be down for the count with that lasso. Meteor right after. Does Chicago have enough damage to follow up? It does not look like they do. As that is going to be in cap by Brew Captain. At least he's seeing a capacitor around the corner. Does Chicago have anything? Earthshock comes out because Brew's super low. Does go for Diffuse Magic. Extremely low in health. Karma does come in. As Brew Captain is trying to go for a bit of a catch-up on health. Ring of Peace comes out to zone Chicago out of the way. We are at 31% dampening, as Chicago has been doing this duel for quite a bit too. As well as Bully. Knocked back onto Brew as he goes in for a leg sweep. Fist of Fury missing unless his images. Actually getting a bit of damage. Lasso on to Brew Captain. Does Chicago have any damage to follow up? Primordial Bolt. Maybe a Lava Burst. Do they have it? No, in-cap comes out onto Chicago. Did not have a Lava Burst ready. But Primordial Bolt is there. They just need one. The double Lava Burst comes out, but they didn't get a triple. They just need one more cast. One more global. Brew needs himself some kind of a way out. He needs himself a port. He needs mobility right now. In cap and run the hell out. Catch up on all that health. That's all I can think of what he can really do in this situation. Zoning Chicago out as I try to go for Frost Shocks. At least that's going to be a slow one to Brew, which is a good slow. That's going to be a Lava Burst, but still not enough. Brew Captain is just trying, fighting for Vivifies right now, as a massive Stormkeeper is ready. Needs to avoid that as best as possible. Does have Zoen available very, very soon. Lightning allows the trick inside of it. That's going to be Zaps available for Chicago. Do they have a second one? Earthshock, do they have another Zap? Do we get a Flame Shock on? They just need one more global. One more Zap. That's all they need. The Primordial Bolt comes out, but the Lick Sweep. Intro Lava Burst, do they get the proper damage here? Lava Burst proc does come out, and I literally lost my ability to talk at the end of that duel. Chill Pills up next. Massive damage as a Frost DK. Two-hand play style, just fighting through the Fleshcraft, not letting Chicago gain a lot of the value from that thing. And does go for a Fleshcraft off of Chicago immediately to catch up on a bit of extra healing. Next versus Wargren, who is playing Marksman this time. No survival, none of that shenanigans. Chill Pills does get hit with a resonating shot. Gonna be big damage out of Wargren. Looking for the big one shot on Chill Pills. He did have massive shield with a Fleshcraft. That's gonna be also Lichborn available. Has plenty of resources to get himself death coils for a self heal. Does go for Chain of Ice to Wargren. And is already gonna go for a sacrifice on the pet, which is an interesting choice. Wargren does swap out to his pet of his own. By the way, the pets for the DK as well as the Hunters are going to take less damage next Tuesday update. Chilp is getting on top of Wargun. Does have AMS available in case the Freezing Trap comes out. Trying to go for a knockback, but looks like that was the Death's Advance from Chilpills. Try to keep slows on the Wargun as best as possible. That's going to be that Freezing Trap. Does not have a trinket for it. And Wargun should be able to get quite a bit of damage in there. Do they have a Resonating Shot? It looks like they do not. Trying to go for a Binding, and Chilpills do get the Binding. And maybe that could be aim shot into a kill shot here, potentially. Does go for a death back to the last second. IBF available for Chill Pills, as it's having to burn through every defensive to deal with Wargren and the damage he puts out. Turtle Shell for the Hunter. Chill Pills might have to turn around, attention onto the pet. Freezing Trap is going to be very, very DR'd. I don't know if he has a stun available or not. Resonant Arrow is going to be really bad. Does he wait to stop the Rapid Fire? He does not get knocked back. He's going to go for a grip to disrupt the aim shot. Wargun does go for a feign death for a second stun. And actually could be anyone's game. Chill Streak does take him out in the last second with barely any health. Trying to go for a bit of a first aid. It looks like some kind of a dot is left from the Hunter on him. Barely any health available. The Death Knight does survive that encounter either way. That's going to be Peachy up next. All they need to do is get a Star Surge on Chill Pills, and that's it. Or Chill Kills, rather. Changing the name. Going for a Blood Oath, too. Which is an interesting option. I guess the Blood Oath ritual will end up being a little bit better. Wait. Is Peachy okay with this? Are they okay with him being killed up to full? Because Syracuse is actually giving him a full heal. Well, at least give him half heal. He has that 54% dampener. It is going to stand next to Chicago for that big Fleshcraft shield. I guess if Peachy is okay with the honor duel, or as honorable as it can be, then I guess I'm okay with it too. I guess Chill Kills technically does have a full health bar. Absorb included. So at least he has a full health bar. Peachy does land the dots on him. is going to try to exchange his dots while avoiding death net as best as possible, but the chain of ice is going to slow him down. Has AMS for the storms if he wants to, but choosing to use AMS maybe a little bit late. Maybe he was hoping to save AMS with some big bursts out of Peachy. Big incarnation available for the Boomy. Going for massive star surge. Chillpill's playing very defensive. Stun on the Boomy. Is going to sacrifice the pen immediately. A 58% dampener. That's not really a lot of healing. And just trying to see if he can sprint away from Peachy, but the dots, the Moonfire, Sunfire, and the stars are hurting him quite a bit. Trying to get himself the Maldraxxus hand is going to group Peachy out of stealth. Does he have any damage in order to maybe catch up on heals? Does he have any globals? Does go for a Lichborn to be able to maybe get himself some death coils in. Another grip onto Peachy, not letting the Druid go anywhere. Next stormed by the Druid, and it's really over for Chill kills at this point. Does go for what looked like maybe potentially a Star Surge at the end. Just needed one more global and it was over. Frost DK with not a lot of health left, not much you could really do. And Syracuse is going to be up next as a Valpera Windwalker Monk. 63% dampener for this duel, boys. 15 minutes into this duel, and actually jukes away from that root from Peachy. I don't think it was intentional, but it does work out for him. At least he doesn't get caught out. Let's try to get Peachy maybe an honor duel. It looks like he is, and Peachy is able to get a small shield of the Maldraxxus Covenant, but not a full reheal. Roar into Syracuse, into Osako. Does just trigger the roar. I think he was hoping for an ink cap at the end there. But looks like Peachy is going to build up some Ras in there to get himself Star Surges. Stun onto Syracuse. Not have to worry about a trick at all. Could be a free Star Surges here. Does go for Ring of Peace. And into a roll that didn't have him travel anywhere. Syracuse actually is going to have to use that karma pretty early on. Peachy popping in defensive stance immediately. The Syracuse have they do have a Ring of Peace, so that's not going to be good karma for him. Big damage on the Peachy though. Does get a knockback onto the Monk, trying to get himself some regrows back to back. But still, that Zuen is doing a lot of damage. I think Syracuse still has it here. Oh my goodness, the touch of death comes out. And Broken is going to be up next. The Sub-Rogue charging at Syracuse. Looks like Zuen does get him out of stealth. Get a shot onto Syracuse, trying to go for a couple Shadow Strikes and Eviscerate, and it's over. Oloktar, which looks like a Beastmaster Hunter, is going to be up next with Broken. Going in for a cheap shot immediately. Going to be that pet heal for Oloktar. Feign death. Immediately Turtle right after. Does get a Hunter's Mark onto Broken. And the Hunter took quite a lot of damage here. Freezing Trap onto Broken. Does trick it out of it. With an evasion. Trying to see if he can maximize the damage into Oktar. Hoping to end him right here. Double Shadow Step have been used. Oktar with not a lot of health available. Does try to go for the Night Fae ability. It was Survival of the Fittest. Trying to make some damage happen. I don't really know if Beastmastery has it. It looks like Broken should be able to take him out. Does lip away from Broken for a second. But looks like the Rogue had it all in the bag from the get-go. And Chillpills came in with 2 kills. Chicago with them 2 as well. Lots of damage. Lots of healing out of the Elemental Shaman. Damn, these games are going on. If it's going to be somebody that's like an Elemental Shaman or a Paladin, it's going to be big healer games up until some dampening happens, boys. There's going to be some massive, massive healer games until dampening to make it a little bit more difficult. Speaking about dampening is going to change Tuesday, by the way. My lord's ready? All right, man, we can throw you in here. I think we want to throw you against a group of, I think Chicago's team actually all get to play. Actually, both teams get to play. Chicago and Night King, which I want to use ready, boys. I'll get you guys in next. How does that sound, yeah? US is at 50? There it is. Sorry, boys. How many bosses y'all killed in Mythic Raid? We're 7 out of 10. We got the dancing boss down the other week. So, that's a good one. Dancing boss down, boys. So, yeah. Dancing boss down. That should be 2 pieces of gear that I can get from my weekly vault from Mythic. So, hopefully it'll be something good. There are some pieces I can get, like a chest piece. And there's a belt from Huntsman. That's pretty good. Then there's a trinket from the first boss. A weapon from the council that could maybe have an offhand dagger. And then there'll be a dagger I could use for my sub-spec, as well as the assassination as well. Havoc will be bottled in PvP this expansion. I haven't really seen a lot of Havocs. Night King and Chicago are both ready. Who do I throw in first? I guess Chicago, since Chicago's team won that one, right? I guess we'll throw Chicago versus Milord, see how it goes. We'll try to have as much variety as we can, boys, alrighty? Of teams playing each other. We'll try to make sure that you guys will get to play each other at least once. But, yeah, let's do Chicago, since Chicago's team won that one. And then we'll get Night King immediately right after. We'll probably get him against Milord. But we'll see. Is Beastmaster good? I haven't seen a lot of BM, but I wonder if they are pretty good. or if they can be good in PvP. I think just because we don't really see them regularly doesn't mean they're bad, you know what I mean? I think we just gotta find a person that's like willing to commit into playing that spec, that class, and find somebody who can make it good, right? Because like people will tell you that Outlaw is kind of trash getting PvP, but there's Outlaws that are getting Gladiator right now, so like somebody knows what they're doing. You just gotta find somebody who's playing the right Lego, the right setup. You know what I mean? Alrighty, boys, let's get another up and running. Switch. We got ourselves team 1 with... We got ourselves Mercenaria? Marcy. I might just call you Marcy. As a Retribution Paladin. We got ourselves Iki as a Fire Mage. Oh my god. Even got a Dynamite Stick as an offhand. We got ourselves Incra? I'm gonna have a hard time pronouncing you guys' names. My lord, as well as Monkey Flip. On the other team, we got ourselves Peach. It looks like maybe going first. Chicago in the back as an Elemental Shaman, still sticking to their guns. Broken as a sub-rogue. We got Wargrand as a marksman, and Callous Heels as another Boomy. It looks like it is going to be Peachy versus Iki off the bat. The Fire Mage with that shield, which, by the way, this Tuesday is getting nerfed. It's going from a 65% effectiveness in PvP to a 50% effectiveness. But it's not just the one shield, that's every shield reduced in effectiveness. So that's like 15% reduction for 3 shields, right? Or am I wrong? I think I might be doing my numbers here wrong, but it is quite big. And as a Fire Mage in particular, you do get a little bit less damage from the Fire Blast into while in combustion, which, by the way, is exactly what's happening by Iki. Trying to go for big damage. Peachy does have Mirrors of Torment around him. Is going to be CC'd after 3 casts or 3 auto attacks. So 3 cast abilities, he's going to get rooted and silenced. There goes the silence, there goes the root. Punishes on the root. The silence still persists. I think he does have a lot of pressure. Peachy does have that fur burned a little bit by the Fire Mage. And Nikki is not giving him a lot of breathing space, not giving him a lot of head space. Big damage on Peachy right now. Does have his own incarnation rolling. Iki is just trying to steal as many buffs or HOTS as he can from Peachy. Find himself with no mana at all, but still lively. Star Sword is going through. He's just trying to go and eat some food. Does have a lot of buffs overlapping him. I don't really know if he needs to do that. Bash by Peachy. Trying to turn the damage into Starfire. Big Star Sword is Iki does go for a nice graceful float away with a shadow cast interrupted by Peachy. Has the fire cast and the arcane frost all available. By being the Venthyr Mage, he does have an extra school of casts that can be interrupted, but it doesn't stop his burst damage. With PG, with that silence though, that's going to prevent him and that's going to disrupt him a little. But it is going to be good for a long call against just about anybody else. Peachy is going to have to deal with the mage who has all this images, but he can look it to get the hell out of there. Those shields also do give him a little bit of healing, even a little bit of food. He sits down for a quick bite. Even a little bit of food is good for him. Getting a couple of those fire blasts back to back into Peachy. Trying to go for a Ring of Frost. Looks like it's not going to happen. Peachy does have thorns. Could potentially steal the thorns from Peachy, but looks like AK is going for a bit of a reset. Recovering health, quite a lot of it too. The shields, every time they absorb damage, they actually heal him for a little bit. So as long as he has those shields, even when he dips in low health, he actually recovers health. Roar available for Peachy, trying to disrupt Iki with the Mirrors of Torment ability. And I think the Mirrors of Torment are still gonna go through. Peachy can either do 3 spells and get interrupted, or just try not to do anything for a bit. Try to do nothing while the mirror's on him and just wait him out for a little bit. Even auto attacks are actually going to proc the damage. Looks like AK is going to go for a big combustion. Silence and a root happens on a Peachy. Does go for a trinket to get out of a silence root. Almost getting hit by the Ring of Frost. Peachy is under quite a lot of pressure from Iki, who just got so much survivability there. Those shields are just keeping him alive and healthy. Does have Door of Shadows to catch up back to Peachy. I don't think Iki is playing Shimmer, is he? He must be playing the normal Blink that probably gets you out of stuns and gives you a shield, just so you can like overlap as many shields as humanly possible, right? At least that's probably what's most likely happening. Peachy landing the massive laser beam onto Iki, trying to get some dots as Iki looking for a bit of a reset. It looks like he might just go for a complete reset, maybe get some buzz back up. He doesn't really need that much food. I mean, his health is basically full healed up. But damn, look at that healing. 3 minutes into this duel, no dampening yet. And the mage so far has had more healing than Peachy thing, I think. At least he has to have more passive healing than anything. Does Peachy have an interrupt? They do on that fire. He can trinkets out of it, but I don't really know if that trinket is going to do much for you. That's a trinket that he's not going to have next, and Peachy has a bash setup. Peachy goes for a bash right now. There it goes. Doesn't really have that much damage to follow up, though. It's going to try to go for a cyclone. Doesn't really land it. Iki landing a fire breath into a meteor onto Peachy, doing quite a bit of damage. and try to send some Phoenix Flames back at him. Door of Shadows, let him stay on top of the Druid as best as possible. Does go for a buff, I think, on Thorns just now. And that's going to be Mirrors the Torment on Peachy. Knows that if he goes for 3 casts, he is going to get silenced as well as Rooted. Root is not bad, but the silence could put him in a bad situation, especially when he has to go for a bit of a reset or counteroffensive. It looks like he's going to go for Cyclone. Maybe, potentially, getting interrupted on Cyclone. Mirrors of Torment do look like they fell off just now. Peachy continuing to exchange the swarm back and forth with Icky. As Icky goes for a combustion, it looks like Peachy actually can survive those combustions quite handily. So far, those combustions haven't really been all that bad, but Icky, with the consistent pressure that he has, just consistent in-your-face playstyle with once-in-a-while combustions, meteors off of breath to make sure the land on Peachy does throw quite a bit of a wrench in the pipeline. Peachy getting hit with a freeze with that Ring of Frost. Does go for a trick. It doesn't have an interrupt if necessary. Icky does have all the time interrupted Peachy on Nature Cast. Starfire is coming out for Peachy. As you see, some kind of a cast is going to go for Cyclone to Icky instead. And that's going to be all the time for Icky. Does reposition him. Is going to almost get that ring Door of Shadows off. And they might be able to use Door of Shadows to actually go to that lip at the very top. Peachy find himself, just use cooldowns, no chicken available, has an interrupt, and Icky just still got so much pressure as a mage. He just keeps running at the guy. No remorse, no nothing. Plenty of shields to keep him alive, plenty of healing from the shields, as we finally are getting into that 4 percentile dampening at the 5-minute mark, boys. Interrupting Peachy on Arcane does allow him to get a couple of casts off. And maybe Peachy might be able to go. Actually, I don't know if Peachy can go for a dot game. Normally, a dot game for a Boomy isn't the worst, especially with the swarm, the dots, and the stars that fall. That's a lot of periodic damage. But with Icky, that periodic damage just gives him healing back. Ring of Frost off that breath doesn't hit Peachy. Does have Mirrors of Torment on him either way, though. So Peachy is eventually going to get himself silenced and rooted. Unless he can wait out the roots. There goes the root. He can at least power shift it. And Icky going for a bit of a reset back here by the looks of it. I don't really know if he necessarily needs to. Peachy getting caught out in a Nova as he tried to go for a bit of invis. Icky goes in for a breath with an ult of time. So he really is in no position where he's going to take a lot of damage. He should be for the most part okay. Peachy trading dots, but again, those dodges end up healing Icky so much. Roar into the mage for a second, does get a knockback on him as combustion comes out, trying to avoid the combustion as best possible. Door of Shadows does give him the angle for at least one Pyroblast. And a breath for Icky. If only he could combine a meteor with a combustion, I feel like he'll be in a much more dominant position. But so far, he's been chasing Peachy around this whole time. It looks like Peachy is trying to get himself a win condition, but it's really difficult to establish one. Totally see why Blizzard is going to be nerfing the absorbs from mages, though. I mean, this guy has been so survivable and even, in fact, aggressive with Peachy. And just the healing he gets is so passive from the shields. As long as he has shields and they're not getting purged, he's just getting free heals. With Peachy being so dot heavy on his playstyle, the shields absorb the dots, and by the time the shields get drained from the dots, he just gets fresh in shields. I guess it's just an insanely good spot so far. Trying to see if he can land a clone onto Icky. No interrupt available for the mage. Does go for Ring of Frost with breath. Trying to go for a G-Pie. That's going to be a Cyclone by Peachy. At least interrupting some of the bursts from Icky. And might be able to go for a setup with Ras as he does get himself the Lunar Affinity. Might be able to get some big damage rolling. Trying to burst those shields. Looks like Icky has all the time available for the shields. Get interrupted on Shadow. But should be able to have access to all the other spells. As long as the shields are not up, Icky is in a bad spot. But Peachy actually finally able to get some dot damage onto Icky. Trying to go for some food bash onto Icky. Does he have any damage? He can trick inside of it. Do they get the shields? This is why Peachy needs to make the most damage before the shields are back up. He needs to find a way to burn through shields quickly and then start doing big damage to Icky after the shields are gone. But the mage does get the shields back up. Peachy has himself big incarnation damage available. Looks like Icky is just going to ice block and save the shields, not take the damage from the incarnation. Wait until Peachy silences himself with a Ring of Frost to follow. Where did the Ring of Frost go? Did he interrupt himself? It didn't even look like it went anywhere. I didn't even see the animation. It looks like Peachy is just going to have to go for a bit of a reset. Cyclone onto Icky. That's just going to have to get himself another set of resources. Try to build up some Star Surges. Incarnation is back up. Into a breath by Icky. Do they go for a Meteor maybe? Peachy trying to make some damage happen. Should have enough Star Surges in order to make some damage. Break through the shields. Image is available for Icky to make it even harder for him to get the damage in. Peachy actually has the Thorn stolen from him, which is super unfortunate. Trying to get interrupted by Icky. It looks like Icky trying to go for an interrupt. Combustion is available for the mage right now, though. Peachy could be in a bad spot. Does go for a Cyclone. Going to be all the time for Icky. Even though with that Cyclone, it's not really going to do much for him. As Peachy trying to get back into another Infinity, has a full bar of astral power. Big Peachy slamming down. No combustion to combo with it. Peachy is continuing to trade dot damage onto Iki. But the dot damage isn't really going to do much until those shields are up. Bash as Iki tried to go for another Ring of Frost, as Peachy tried to go for another Eclipse. Does get himself a Solar Eclipse. Potentially maybe could get some damage out of it. But they don't really have enough Fury in order to make that damage happen. Pyroblast does singe him pretty low. Going to be a big port by the Mage. Again, just super aggressive. And the shields are back up. Every time the shields at 28% dampening. Oh, the shield's doing good healing. Hold on. This way we really want to zoom in on that health bar. The Peachy most likely still has dots onto Iki. And it looks like the shields go down and the health goes up. So it's almost like the health covers the shields in a way. That's kind of crazy when you think about it. That's actually kind of nutty. Also with all the time, Ice Block, Cauterize, like there's so many ways for you to catch up on heals too. Which is kind of an insane combo when you think about it. Trying to go for a bit of a Mirrors of Torment onto Peachy while he's low. Maybe take him out with an interrupt. Peachy finds himself just in that execute range by the Fire Mage. This is a couple more Fire Blast Pyros. And this game will be over. But Peachy just does not want to give up. 10 minutes into this duel. Does go for Enrage Regeneration and does dive into Stealth. I think this Boomy is literally just going to keep running until Big Incarn find opportunity when he has high enough dampening to maybe deal with Iki. And then just kind of go for the big damage after. Playing it to win, boys. Playing it to win. Yeah, I totally understand why Blizzard would want to nerf the shields. And Word of Glories for Prot and Ret. And nerf Holy Pally by a hair. And what else are they doing? And, oh, Convoke. Yeah, they're going to change Convoke too, so no new moons from PvP at least. Bastard Ike as the combustion comes out, so Peachy should be able to survive it for a little bit. Ike is still super impatient. It looks like maybe Ike is playing Shimmer actually. I think he's playing Shimmer, yeah, it looked like double blink. I think he's just been holding on to Shimmers until he can catch up to Peachy. There goes the Incarn. Does Peachy turning around here with this Incarn? Ring of Frost coming out. Looks like Peachy almost getting frozen. Mirrors of Torment do come out. Peachy knows he's going to get silenced. Has plenty of damage on Iki right now. Does go for a roar. And there goes the silence. Hoping that the dot damage from Iki takes him out of it. Still has the Mirrors of Torment. Could be really bad for him. Greater Pyroblast. Looks like it's going to come out. Does get a silence for it. Waiting out the mirrors. Does get rooted. Silence comes out as well. Does a Frenzy Regen to catch up on health. Iki does get some shields back up. Perfect opportunity for Peachy to maybe somewhat turn around. Do get the dots onto Iki. But looks like they don't really have damage afterwards. As Iki is going to sit down for some mage food immediately. 41% dampening. And this mage has been able to play toe-to-toe with a balanced druid. A class that's a hybrid class. I wonder how much dampening we have to go up to until Iki falls over. And I wonder if this duel would have been different if Peachy maybe won Night Fae. As I do go for the Swarm. Ring of Frost comes out for Peachy. Almost landing it on Peachy. Almost getting him with a Ring of Frost. G-Pie? Did Peachy misplay his hand? He got a Master Burning on him. Does choose to trinket it. Did choose to trinket it. Meteor did come down. Iki missing it though. It looks like he's letting Peachy catch a bit of a reset. He goes for it himself, but I don't really know if he necessarily needs to. Almost catching Peachy out. He kind of knows where he's at. Sorta. Peachy getting caught in the corner. Perfect for him, so he can just turn around. 12 minutes, 46% dampener, boys. Kind of a long game here. Did we have somebody DC on team 2, by the way? I think we did. Very unfortunate. I think it was the Rogue maybe that DC'd. Very unfortunate. But maybe Peachy can come back with a 1v5 at the end. Damn. We are waiting for such a long time for the dampening, boys. We're waiting for so long. Oh my god. I mean, Iki could go pick up one of the eyes. Did he do it? Did he pick up one of the eyes yet? One eye up. Other eye up. No, he hasn't. He might actually have to do it if he wants to find Peachy. Peachy does get a full Fleshcraft. Might be able to use that Fleshcraft in order to deal more damage to Iki. Also, he wanted to Bear Form to get the Fleshcraft off. In Bear Form, you get more health. So maybe you get a bigger shield with Bear Form. Potentially, is that a thing? Ring of Frost trying to come out onto Peachy. It looks like he's not going to hit with Ring of Frost. Actually does run into a G5. Is going to come out. Does go for a bar skin. Mirrors the Trumpet available. Ziki goes in for full combustion. Peachy needs to find a way out of this situation. Does go for a massive heal with a frenzied regen. Knows that he got to silence at some point. Iki does go for a trinket out of that CC in order to interrupt the cyclone, and Peachy is locked out on nature. Can I go for another clone? Getting low on health. Actually, silence can't do much. Phoenixes are flying. It looks like Aiken does go for a breath at the end. All this long duel just for a mage to be able to clap out them boomkin cheeks. Super unfortunate, boys. Super unfortunate. But who's going to be up next? Who's going up next? Is it Callus Heal, Chicago, Wargren? One of the other guys. Looks like it is going to be Callus up next. As Iki goes in for a bit of a laugh, taunting the team. Cycle coming out for Callus. Iki doesn't have a trinket for it, but does have the images. Going to be Callus catching up on that. A little bit of damage here. Is playing the Nightfit Covenant, so might actually help him out here. Bash into Iki. Goes in for a big damage. Incarnation available. Iki does go for an ice block. And Callus is forced to have to go for a bit of a regrowth. I think Ike just trying to hold on to his shields as best as possible. Might be able to get him back very, very soon. Shields are back. Looking pretty good right now. Callus trying to turn the damage back to Ike. Do they have the interrupt? They do get the interrupt. All the time available for Ike. Is going to be able to recover in a lot of that health. Trying to go for a fireball. Looks like Callus is going to back up out of there. In bear form, trying to catch up on heals. Looks like maybe Dampen is catching up with Ike. Trying to go for some food. But I think Callus, even with basic dodge, should be able to do enough. The shields are just not as strong anymore at this high damp, but a big Star Surge gets Aki super low, and just look at the shields melting and the health bar not really going back up nearly as fast as we saw last time. He is still getting quite a bit of health. Mirza Torment is going to help him out here. Callus trying to go for a silence onto Iki. Does have Cauterize happening here. Is going to take down Callus right as Cauterize is melting him. Trying to go for Invis. And looks like he barely survives that Cauterize. Trying to go for food immediately. He's going to get himself some shields, food immediately. Wargren better be on the run, trying to get Iki taken out immediately. No ice block, no Cauterize available. Hits Wargren with a breath. Going for a big combustion, blinking away around Wargren. And it's going to trick it out of that scatter shot. Warg trying to go for a biting shot onto Iki. With the blinks, it won't really work out that well, I don't think. And needs to go for Resonant Arrow, double tap onto Iki. I think that's all he needs. If he can get the angle, Resonant Arrow does let him hit. Does he get the double tap? There goes the double tap rapid fire. Should get him close enough. And down he goes. All you need to do is just take out the mage with a big old double tap rapid fire explosive shot. Pretty easy, right? Definitely easier than it sounds. Milord is going to be up next. Is going to get a slow onto Wargren. Hand of Freedom, pony up at 70% dampening. Milord has plenty of defenses. Trying to use Turn Evil on the pet, what actually works because it's technically an undead. That pet is actually an undead beast. So Turn Evil actually works in the pet. There's no way, dude. I feel like at this point, if you're a hunter and you're playing an undead pet against a paladin, you actually are trolling yourself. I didn't realize that was a combo you could work. I did not realize that was a combo you could work with. You learn something new every day, boys. You learn something new. Damn. Freezing Trap into Milord Palom. As Wargren goes for a bit of a reset himself. Is he going to go for a big resonance shot? It looks like he might be able to. Rapid fire, maybe with explosive shot onto Milord Pallet. Explosive shot does go through the Shield of Vengeance. Milord Pallet got some wings. Scatter shot. There goes the explosive shot. Wombo combo damage. It's going to walk back, almost walking back into the Resonating Arrow shot. And Wargren is going to dip into a camo, try to go for a bit of a reset. Milord hasn't used big defenses just yet. Bubble and Bob still available, which is going to deal with Wargren damage quite well. I think Wargren might just have to wait until the Resonating shot is back up, maybe with a biting shot. That's one freezing trap available from Milord Pala. Might be able to make something work of this. Is going to open up with an aim shot, trying to at least kind of get his health lower. Get his health dipping low. He does need himself a nice lock and load prog though. Double tap, lock and load would be really, really good. But any kind of damage he does to Milord Pala at 79% dampening is going to be pretty good damage. I mean, Milord can catch up on health, but if you keep harassing him around the corner with some shots here and there, it is going to be difficult. Does catch up a little bit of mobility. It's going to be Biting Shot on Milord Pala. Does he have a Hand of Freedom? Biting Shot comes out. Does he have a Hand of Freedom? Could be an interrupt, but Wargren does check out the interrupt. There goes the bubble. Wargren looking to get the hell out of the ASAP. Is he going to be able to feign death for a second, try to get away from Lord Palo? Bubbles down, freezing trap onto Milord, does trick it out of it. Does he get the Hodge onto Wargren? He might need to scatter shot. Does he have any damage to follow up? If only he had a resonating shot right now. Milord tried to see if he could catch up on health. Worgen could go around the corner and interrupt him. Does hit him with a slow. He just needs a resonating arrow with double tap. He'll be in a good spot. Definitely don't want to give Milord Pal opportunity to catch up on a lot of that healing though. It's going to be a Ward of Glorious coming back from the pet. Probably not a good idea. Very much not a good idea. Look at the healing he's getting. And actually gets a stun on the pet. I keep forgetting the thing is undead. And Wake of Ashes is actually going to stun the pet. I mean, the pet is doing some damage, but not that much. And Worgen, I think, is just waiting. Camo is up. Is going to recover a lot of health. Milord Pala is catching up as well. He does need to get through Bob from Milord Pala. Does hit him with a binding shot. Double tap available. Resonant shot. Does he have the big setup? Milord Pala is just charging at him. Bob available. Does he have a way to purge the Bob? He might be able to. He might be able to. Does he go for the purge? Walking into Resonant Arrow back up. Getting the debuff. Freezing trap. And Worgen setting up some traps. No more bop available. Aim shot into kill shot most likely will be enough. Kill shot potentially. Going for the arcade shots. Milord needs himself something. Big judgment proc by the toll the bell. Massive toll proc just now onto Worgen. Almost just wombo combat him in that one. As Milord Pala catching up on a few more heals. No shield of vengeance available. Freezing trap by Worgen. Doesn't wait too long. Try to catch up. Does he have a Hodge? If he has a Hodge, it could be over. And no, there goes the Hand of Freedom. No pony up. Rapid fire for free. Worgen does go for feign death for a second. Binding shot has a big damage out of it. I think trying to go for a Hodge. And that's going to be Turtle Shell out of Worgen. Just needs a bit of CC onto Milord Pala. And take him out. Scatter shot? Aim shot maybe? Actually goes in for I don't even know what he went for. Trapper on the corner. Does he get a resonant shot? Interrupted him? That's over. There's no way to beat him at that point. Actually, no way. And it looked like he literally left as he died. Merc is going to be up next as another Paladin. Man, this game is going into 94% dampener. How are you guys making the second game of the NA 5V5 1v1s this long of a game? I don't understand. I guess we should all blame the Fire Mage, right? Not blame, but I guess thank. This is a gift. This is going to be a lot for me to edit. Telling you right now. Well played though, dude. Well played. GG Iki? Yeah, he played really well. Yo, Iki, you played really, really well. That shield is massive, dude. Massive. If only you had more combustions with Meteor Wombo combos, I feel like it would have been much easier for you to get the kills. Binding shot onto Merc. He's probably going to have to go for a Hand of Freedom. Too bad they can't use Hand of Freedom while mounted. Is Worgen going to go for a Resonant shot? I think he's trying to get an angle for a Resonant shot. Does have the double tap available. Does he go for a setup? He's going to go jump down with a resonant shot. Should be able to get some damage onto Merc. Looks like Merc almost falling off the edge. Does get a Hodge onto Worgen. He does go for a chicken bubble coming out for the Paladin immediately. Worgen does not have a turtle. Trying to see if he can sprint out of the massive skull to keep him moving. And he might be able to maybe get a freezing trap onto Merc. It looks like that's going to be the freezing trap. Trick gets out of it immediately. Goes in for heals, but 100% healing reduction. Merc is only one of the 3 people left on Team 1, by the way. There's still a few more. Worgen, you're doing some big rapid fires onto Merc with a binding shot right after. Does he have a Hand of Freedom? Looks like he does. Worgen just sees himself a resonant shot around the corner, and that's it. He's going to get an explosive shot onto Merc. Any kind of damage he does to the Paladin right now is just going to be final damage, because you can barely heal through it. I think what he's really trying to do is try to get a bop out of Merc, though. He can dispel it, but I think what he needs is to get a bop out of Merc. He's going to send the pet. Maybe that'll force a bop out of him. He's going to go for a bop immediately. Does have a way to dispel it. Rapid fire into the freezing trap into a kill shot right after. It looks like both of the monks are ready to go, but which one is going to be first? Looks like Monkey Flip is actually going to be first. Or no, it looks like it's going to be Ink. Ink up next. They basically need to find Worgen and calm him immediately, I think. Find him and stop him immediately. Botting shot should be able to have a Tiger's Lust out of this. Big aim shot follow up for Worgen. Should maybe get some damage out of it. Let's go for explosive shot. Looks like he's saving that for later. Try to see if he can just get away from the monk. Does hit him with explosive shot. Any kind of healing you do right now is not really going to do much. Did that explosive shot do no damage to him, by the way? It looked like it did no damage. Is going to get him mount up. And Worgen just really got to play this super safe if he wants to win at 100% dampening 23-minute game. I think the game should be ending soon, actually, shouldn't it be? I think the game is going to be ending very, very soon. Ink's still holding on to a trinket. Karma does get himself a port. Going to be a scatter shot by Wargren. Does he go for a big resonant shot? He does get the resonant shot. Big rapid fire line aside from Ink. Does he go for explosive shot? He does go for explosive shot. Needs that Karma immediately. Turtle shell for Wargren. Puts him on ice. Trinket available for Ink if anything. Wargren goes for a kill shot. Ink with no health available, getting hit with a binding shot. Does go for a bit of a dampen harm, but looks like Wargren is going to take him out. Can he just do this again with Monkey Flip? Can you do this again with another monk? It's going to throw him into a charge trap. Monkey Flip, try to see if he can find him. Wargren needs to play this super carefully, like extremely carefully, if he wants to have even a chance of winning. As Monkey Flip goes for a bit of a spin to win play. Aim shot coming out for Wargren. Monkey Flip knows exactly where he's at and used to make a perfect play here. Trap around the corner. Freezing trap is going to stop. Wargren is going to get some more pot shots for free around the corner. Into a rapid fire right after, just disengaging with that thing. Explosive shot ready. Needs to keep slows on the Monkey Flip as best possible. Actually has him super low in health. Does Karma the pet. Better than no Karma. It's going to be Lexi, but a Wargren has a trigger for it. Tar Trap does not get the knockback on the Monkey Flip. It's going to be a Root. Does have Tiger's Lost. I think he might have used it a little late. Disarm onto Wargren. Might have some in here. Freezing Trap on the Monkey Flip. It's going to be very short. Wargren just needs enough. He actually got him. He actually did take him out at the very... What? You're telling me Wargren got 5 killing blows? You're telling me Wargren went for a 1v5 at the very end? You're telling me the Hunter went for the 1v5 at the end? What? Oh my god. No dampening, no healing, no problem for that man. What? I didn't even realize it was a 1v5. That was such a long game. I'll be honest, I lost track there at the end. Jesus. Alright, we gotta get Milord and Night King in here. Those two gotta play each other. They haven't played each other yet. Looks like Chicago's team played literally everybody. Lordy! What was that, dude? That was insane. I didn't realize it was actually 1v5. He played it so well. At 0 dampening. Gee, or 100% dampening. Jesus. Oh my god. Yo, I need a water after that one, dude. I need a water after that one. Man, like you have to play that, like you get in 0 healing. You don't have second chances with that high dampening. You have to play perfectly. You literally have to play perfectly. And I think that man just did. I think that man just did it. Oh my goodness. That's where you gotta play like picture perfect. No mistakes, none at all. And you did it. Crazy. Shields better than heals? Yo, the mage shields are getting a nerf. But probably for a good reason, right? They are getting nerfed this Tuesday. They played LOS the whole game so well. You gotta give him credit, right? You don't have to like the playstyle, but he played it really well. And yo, we got Seavark in here, my man. Bringing in the Arcane. Is he gonna be challenger to Iki? Because Iki got some survivability there. Switch. We got ourselves Team 1 making a return with Ink. We got ourselves on that Team Merc. We got ourselves Monkey Flip with Iki as well as Milord Palette in the back. Looking majestic as ever. Versus the other team, we got ourselves the boy Seavark making a return as an Archmage for the duels. We got ourselves Oloktar as a Beastmaster Hunter. Sticking to those guns, sticking to those beasts with chill pills. Going to those chill kills with Syracuse as a Windwalker Monk and Brew Captain. Do a nice little wave. Or at least we think so. But it said he's summoning his boy. He's summoning the guy. The Swolkin. The Club Penguin. Lexi Seavark might be first up. Good luck, boys. Good luck and have fun. Are they going to send in the mage on the other team? No, it's actually not going to be the mage. It looks like it's going to be Ink. Ink Ryativo. At least that's as best as I can say it. Maybe it's Ink Ryashivo? Maybe? I won't know. Going to be Ink. Dragon Kick into Seavark, but the Polymorph does come out. Seavark is playing the Shimmer build by the looks of it. Unless he's not. Big blast into Ink with that Arcane Blast. What was that? Into Arcane Missiles. What? Oh my god. Seavark just took him out of the game completely. What was that blast? Did you see that? Oh my god. He just Arcane Blasted him for half his health. Jesus. Oh my goodness. And that's going to be Seavark going for more blasts out of Pala. Just continue. He had one more Arcane Blast ready to go. Not the biggest blast, but it did work. One-shotter, basically. I don't even... Unless you had the mobility or had a diffuse magic, I don't really know what you could do there. And it looks like he didn't have diffuse magic. Polymorph coming out onto Milord Pala as Seawork playing a little bit of a slow game, tried to slowly kite around the wings. Big missiles and blasts coming out against Milord Pala. Doesn't have the rune of power this time, so it's still going to be quite a bit of damage for Milord, as he does have the... What's that ability name? I'm going to remember it in a second. Touch of the Magi. For some reason I want to call it Finger of the Magi, but Touch of the Magi just feels more sophisticated, which fits the Arcane Mage intellect. As he's gonna go for a bit of a missile spam for Milord Pala, keeping him slow the whole time until the Paladin has Hand of Freedom, and this is where Seawork needs to go into overdrive for the mobility. Looks like Milord Pala finally getting some slams in there, but he doesn't have wings to combine the damage with, and that's gonna be a polymorph yet again. As Seawork gets himself a pretty easy game with just kite and run. Seawork, no CDs available just yet, no rune of power, nothing. He's still getting cooldowns out of Milord Pala. He's playing it very, very carefully. Word of Glories are keeping Milord Pala alive, but the missiles do tickle him down until the next Word of Glory is available. Temporal available for Seawork is going to have a lot of health recovery into shields right away as Milord Pala goes in for a hodge, but those shields overlapping each other are quite strong. Rune of power available for Seawork. Might be able to get some big damage into Milord Pala. 40% more damage with that. Shifting power coming out for Seawork as he's trying to get some CDs back faster, which also he's standing next to Rune of power, where that shifting power is going to do quite a bit of damage to Milord Pala anyway. Does go for that blink with the shimmer. And maybe this is potentially where Seawork is going to go for the big damage. Big Arcane Blast available. Not combining together with the Arcane Power just yet, but he's getting those free Arcane Blasts either way. Touch of Magic should accumulate quite a bit of damage onto Milord. Does exchange a Hammer of Justice with Seawork. And Seawork is missing the Fire Shield for now, but still plenty of survivability ready for him. And I think Seawork is just going to have to kite this guy out. Kite him out, went into Hand of Freedoms are not available. This is where Milord Pala might be able to make some damage happen here. Hand of Freedom keeping him running. Does get quite a bit of damage into Seawork, but alters time and reverses the health completely. Is going to go for a polymorph onto Milord Pala, who just used the trinket. I think he wanted to use the trinket as the polymorph came in, but looks like he's going to have to wait it out. Seawork going in for Rune of Power with missiles. No Arcane Power available. I think he used that a lot earlier, although I missed it completely. Did get himself covered a few missiles though. Trinket out of the hodge as Milord Pala finally gaining some momentum. And it looks like the Shield of Vengeance is going to hold on strong for a bit. But Seawork is making sure to get Novas into Milord or Polymorphs, hitting him with a Touch of the Magi, and then sprinkling some missiles in there from time to time. Making sure there's as much damage as possible every 45 seconds, I want to say. Touch of the Magi should be about a 45-second CD. We're at 33 minutes into 54 seconds of this duel. This is going to be quite a long one. Seawork just has so much survivability with those shields. I do wonder how fast these duels are going to be with mages getting nerf cycle on the shields. I don't think it's going to make the shields bad by any measure, but I do wonder how much survivability is going to be lost because of it. And if it's going to be a lot faster duels against mages in particular. Seawork setting up a Rune of Power, another Touch of the Magi, trying to make some damage happen here. Will always have a free Rune of Power every time he has Arcane Power available, as he sprinkles some more missiles at Milord Pala. Blinking in, trying to get an interrupt, gets Milord Pala at about half his health. Does he commit some damage here? Trying to go for Arcane Barrage, is keeping Milord Pala slowed, but looks like the Paladin might be able to catch up with the next Word of Glory. Does catch up on quite a bit of heals, and second Word of Glory almost tops him off. Looks like this is definitely going to be a dampening game here, boys. Unless Seawork can maybe do the same thing he did to the Monk. Just go for a big all-in one-shot wombo combo, which is maybe what he's trying to go for here. Blink and pass, Milord. Does he go for the big setup? Is this going to be it? Maybe another Polymorph and Touch of the Magi? Nope. Goes for Arcane Missiles instead. I'm just waiting for the moment where he does go for the big damage. Rune of Power is ready. Seawork could go for a big setup. Looks like he's just going to go just for Rune of Power. Waiting until the big Touch of the Magi, big power play available. Still doing quite a bit of damage to Milord Pala though. Only a 2% dampener. That's going to have that all the time to blink around him. Shifting power coming back yet again. As Seawork actually goes in for Arcane Power right now. I guess he decided, you know what, we're having a lot of pressure. I might as well pop Arcane Power, but looks like it is going to be kind of gone. Temporal available for Seawork. Catching up on a little bit of healing. Is going to go for an Invis to reduce some of the damage he was taking, but is going to poke out of immediately with some images. Milord Pala's wings are going to be disappearing now. Trinketed, I think, a slow. I think we're trying to trinket a slow, which might put him in a bad situation. Seawork does have mobility to maybe catch up around Milord Pala. Hasn't allowed the Paladin to go for a self-heal. Is turning the attention to the images just to get some kind of holy power in one way or another. And it's going to get us slow onto Seavark. Got this images where he could get those Crusader strikes. Massive Word of Glory should be able to keep him up. The nerf to Word of Glory as well as the nerf to the shields for mages might be one of the better changes the Blizzard is about to implement this Tuesday. I am interested in how the duels are going to go. Because these guys, I think, can duel each other until, like, 20-minute mark, honestly. If they'll play it super extra safe. Seavark going, setting up another touch of the magic. Going for Arcane Blast instead. And that's going to be a bunch of Arcane Blasts into missiles. Got the missile proc. Milord taking a bunch of damage. Touch of the magic does do quite a bit. But the Word of Glories do keep him up and running. Just the massive amount of healing he can get without even having to cast. Man, this Word of Glories is just so effective. Seavark does find himself at about half his health. He's going to get shields as Milord Pala is closing in. Trinkets with that shift in power. Milord Pala isn't able to interrupt it. I don't think he would even want to interrupt shift in power. Actually, maybe he would for the metagame, just because Seavark is getting cooldowns back with that one. Defensives and offenses. Temporal available for Seavark in case Milord gets any kind of damage from range. Shadowlands is breaking through as we are heading into that 7-minute mark, boys. 30% damage. Another touch of the magic. Does Seavark go for the big damage? Got himself rune of power. Is he going to go for arcane power right after? Does he have enough damage to really follow up? Looks like he's choosing not to use it just yet. Looks like he wants to save it for later. Milord Pala does get super low though. Word of Glory does save him at the end there. They didn't even use a bubble. Seavark just continued just to mangle him together with those missiles over and over. Just an extreme barrage of missiles. And more missiles still continuing to fly. I think next go he has could be huge. Does have ultra time preset. I don't know if Milord Pala realizes this. Seavark is not going for the shields right now, just kind of waiting it out. So Milord Pala does realize it's going to be ultra time at some point. He decides, you know what? I better at least start waddling in that direction. Because that's about as good as you're going to get as a paladin. Is a nice little waddle. You're not really going to have a sprint. Not even going to have a rush over there. A charge. Nope. Just a good old waddle. Paladin mobility. And a freedom from Milord Pala, and Seavark is going to polymorph it. Trying to go for touch of the magic. Is this going to be the big go? Looks like he might be able to get a big setup here. Arcane power is ready. Arcane blast are flying. Does quite a bit of damage, but Milord Pala does get himself line of sight. No injury up for Seavark. It looks like Milord Pala is still at half his health. Has bubble if necessary. Might be able to go for more Word of Glories. Still continuing to spam Word of Glories out. Even though he has Seavark right at the fingertips. He is going to make sure that he is topped off before he has to use a bubble. Yeah, I think he went for a taunt just now. I think he literally went for a taunt at Seavark. Not a slash taunt, but like a literal taunt for paladins. Whatever the taunt name is. Hand of something, I think. I wouldn't be surprised if it was hand. They have a lot of hands. Arcane Missile is still flying, but Milord Pala should be a-okay. Find himself some line of sight. It looks like Seavark doesn't really want to push in aggressively. He had all the time more for a defensive usage. But didn't really want to shimmer around the corner. Landing another poly onto Milord Pala, stopping him in his tracks for a second. Doesn't have big damage yet, but he does have a touch of the magic either way. No arcane power to combo it with though. Not this time. Touch of magic does quite a bit of damage, dude. Just the damage accumulates is quite good. Massive blink for Seavark. He did the port into a blink into an interrupt. Just trying to see if he can just put some pressure onto Milord Pala. Wings are available for the paladin. Trying to get himself a lot of healing, and there goes the poly. The poly's going to end up healing Milord Pala, but he's going to heal himself up anyway. So might as well do it. Rune power available for Seavark. Does he have a touch of the magic? It looks like he does not. Just going to go for arcane misses from range. 28% dampener. That's how long we're having to wait. Milord Pala just haven't really been able to catch up. So Seavark does have quite a bit of healing capability, but it just doesn't have a need for the shields to really heal him. Because most of the times, Milord Pala can't even catch him in the first place. It's kind of interesting. Milord Pala go for judgments to the other guys. He's probably like, yo, you boys are distracting me. Stop it. Rude by Seavark. Hand of freedom maybe out of Pala? Nope. Looks like you're just gonna have to wait. Oh, chooses to shrink it that rude at the end. That should imagine it does get set up by Seavark, trying to make some missiles happen around the corner. But looks like he doesn't have the mobility to really aggressively push in. Or maybe just no desire. Does have arcane power ready though. Maybe we'll see some big damage out of Seavark. As Shield of Vengeance is available from Milord Pala, waiting it out. And there goes the arcane power. Looks like we're just gonna have to wait until Seavark gets another go. He had like a really nice one shot on the monk, and I don't think we've ever seen him go again with that kind of one shot. It feels like he kind of goes for arcane power once Milord Pala is really low. Maybe he knows that Milord Pala is gonna pop a big defensive every time he goes for arcane power. Like he's gonna pop a Shield of Vengeance or go for massive heals. So he's trying to keep his health low, then surprise him with a massive arcane power play. Maybe that's what he's trying to go for. It's kind of hard to tell. Does have a trinket used, so maybe he'll have some damage rolling, missiles flying, or Lord Pala still has plenty of holy power to go forward of glories. 37% dampening isn't enough to stop that kind of healing. Big damage to Lord Pala out of nowhere though, and Seawork does somehow squeeze out a win at the very end, however. Wait, what? I actually thought this was going to be a much longer game than it ended up being, and then all of a sudden he just kind of blasted him out of nowhere. Maybe that's what he was waiting for, the element of surprise the whole time. Iki gonna be up next, combustion coming out, and there's gonna be Seawork trying to steal every buff from Iki. Does steal the combustion, temporal was available. Seawork does have some shields up and running, and should be able to catch up on a lot of that healing right now. They're only 40% dampening. We know how good the shields are from mages. And Seawork is gonna be silenced the next cast he casts. Looks like he had to wait out the big setup with the Mirrors of Torment. And Aki does force out an Ice Block out of Seawork. There's a pretty big defense we're going to use. As Aki does still have Cauterize, Ice Block, and everything. This is going to get us slow into Seawork. As Seawork tried to see if he might be able to give himself a bit of a reset, Aki tried to steal whatever buffs he can from Seawork. And Seawork should be stealing whatever buffs he can from Iki back to back, though. Touch of Magic trying to come up. Try not to get interrupted on his cast, though. And Iki, I think, also trying not to get interrupted. Both the mages still holding to the cast. Going to be all the time. Seawork trying to see if he can spell steal it. Doesn't have spell steal. Does Iki realize his all the time is spell stolen? Gets a breath on the Seawork. Maybe a Ring of Frost. Perfect setup. Almost is going to get spell interrupted on the fire. Has an interrupt if he wants to against Seawork's arcade damage, but I don't know if he's going to be able to. Images are up. Might actually be cauterized here. Out of Iki. Does get interrupted onto Seawork. Not in a great position right now, but Iki's health is super low. Seawork stealing all his shields back and actually might be able to trip cauterize here. Ice Block and cauterize overlapping. Probably not exactly what Iki wanted out of it. He probably didn't want to overlap both of those because one is a massive heal, the other is also a heal, as Ice Block actually heals you now with a certain conduit. So actually, Seawork might have turned it around. He actually got two big defenses out of a single global out of Aki, as Seawork is waiting for some of his own cooldowns to come back. And he actually has a nice setup with Arcane Power. Does get the early invis, as both the mages get himself a bit of a reset. 13 minutes, 49% dampener, as Seawork opening up, stealing all the buffs from Iki. That's going to be the Fire Mage trying to land a poly. Looks like he's not going to be able to. Though maybe he does. Iki trying to land himself a G-Pie as a touch of the magic is on him. Seawork does have a trinket if he wanted to. The Mirrors of Torment is going to come out. And Seawork better be very, very careful with the Mirrors of Torment. 3 casts and he's going to be silenced and rooted. Iki using the mobility to catch up to Seawork. But the Night Vision ability, just the blinks and just so much mobility for a short time. Temporal available for Seawork in case he takes any damage. It's going to be Ring of Frost out of Iki. Has a trinket if he needs to interrupt Iki on fire immediately. Iki needs to maybe somehow turn the damage around. Has combustion, has a meteor. This is going to go for a big bursty one-shot wombo combo onto Seawork. Has all the time available. Seawork popping off images to get himself an extra layer of defensive. Arcane Power is available if he needs to. Combustion is up. Use that together with Arcane Power. 100% crit and extra damage. Shifting power to follow her after. Does have the cast to continue doing damage. Touching the magic onto Iki as Iki gets full set of shields. Seawork might be able to clean him off of the shields completely. Missiles flying, and Iki is kind of defenseless with a touch of the Magi slamming down on the poor guy. Seawork winning though, and that Arcade Power with combustion is like, you know what? I do like what, 60% more damage, 100% crit. I might as well. Oh my god! And looks like Monkey Flip. No, Merc is going to be up next. Another Retribution Paladin for Seawork to kite around into infinity. Rune of Power is going to be available. We'll see if Merc can actually deal with the damage of Arcane Mage. It is a much slower further into dampening with 59% dampener. Merc does go for the toll. Should give him a lot of self-healing. With the Ward of Glory, shield events available, but it's actually a much smaller shield with 60% dampener. Seawork does also have much smaller shields too, so he's gonna have to be very careful. Merc, do you die right here? Does he use bubble? Actually could get really low. Do you bubble either way? He does bubble. Actually, if you continue the damage into Seawork, the fiery shield would have actually done him in. Which is actually kind of crazy. That would have been really bad. The Seawork is gonna go for a shift in power, recovering some cooldowns. That is a massive one out of Merc though. And I think it might be going down here. If Seawork can get himself a full channel of Arcane missiles, he'll be in a good spot. Does combine together with Touch of the Magi. No Rune of Power, just going for the Arcane Blast. Merciless onto Merc. Taking him out with Monkey Flip being the last one left. Is Seawork gonna go for another Monk one-shot? Monkey Flip, you're next. You're next, my guy. That constant slow though? Yeah, Arcane Mages have a massive slow. You would think Frost Mages would be all about slows, but nope, Arcane apparently. Just constant slows, man. It is rough to fight one in 1v1. Okay, it looks like Monkey Flip might be AFK, but Seavark at least is giving him a little bit of one, like a little bit of time, a little bit of that on a duel. Once the man is here. There we go. There we go. Seavark at least gave him a little bit of opportunity to be like, yo, you there? You good? Okay, let's duel. And I think he's just gonna wait until Monkey Flip charges at him. What kind of legendary is Monkey Flip using, by the way? I don't think he uses the charge one, does he? He keeps him on the target at all times. I think that would be really good. Poly into Monkey Flip, try to go for Poly in case Monkey Flip goes in for a trick of his own. This is where Seavark goes for a big ulti time. There goes the big power play here. Arcane missiles right after those blasts. This is going to be diffused magic for Monkey Flip. Trying to see if he can diffuse some of the damage. Karma onto Seavark into an ice block. Has big damage with weapons of war to interrupt him onto Verify. Seavark just needs one more set of missiles and it's over. Yeah, not much you could really do in that situation. Seavark just had him basically up against the wall at that point. Not much you could really do. Million damage. I feel like that's the first milli of this expansion, boys. I feel like that's the first million damage of this expansion. My lord, you heal for 786,000. Jesus, my dude. No wonder Blizzard's nerfing Word of Glory for red pallies and prop pallies. Probably necessary, dude. Shields for mages also get a nerd, but probably necessary there. Probably very much necessary. Damn, boys, you got me, what, 2 games in a row that are real long ones? I'm running out of breath here, man. I'm running out of breath. Yo, let me take a breather here for a second. We'll get another one up and running immediately. Jesus. Word of Glory is only healing for an insane number due to healing hands. Yes, but they are nerfing Word of Glory healing by 20%. We're ready again? Alright, my lord, we can get you in here. Agent for 100,000 healing. That's true. You're right. So I'm glad they're nerfing the healing for the absorbs as well. I'm glad that that's happening too. Seavark, the real master mage. Honestly, dude. Yeah. My lord can heal a raid as a red. I do wonder if it's possible for a Retribution Paladin to heal a group in Mythic Pluses, like a 10. And literally have a red pally be the healer of the group. I mean, I'm pretty sure you don't really need to. You can literally just have a holy pally do it because they will just go Venthyr and it'll do as much damage as a red does during burst. But I do wonder if it's possible to have like a Retribution Paladin that has massive off heals. Basically, you kind of want your group to go low in health and cycle defenses. And you kind of want them to go low and then you top them off. Jim is good. Awesome. Happy to hear that, Normal. Happy to hear that, my man. Yo, I'm just breathing, dude. I'm just breathing. Should just nerf the conduit that does that and the healing gets switched out. I think it's fine for them to have healing, but nerfing that legendary so there might be more options in PvP. I think it's the way to go. Because it's not really the healing that's a problem. It's the absorbs themselves, because you can get them up so easily. But the healing from the absorbs also is kind of an... I mean, you kind of hit two birds with one stone, right? When you nerf the absorbs. Because you also nerf the healing, because they don't have the shields lasting as long. Level and Rogue, do you have any tips? Play, just enjoy it. Take your time, enjoy the questing experience. I'm like 222 equipped with the best conduits. I'm not gonna die. True. Yeah, I don't think that's gonna happen anytime soon. Which class do you think can carry 2v2 arenas the best? Probably certain healers, but in terms of DPS, maybe like arms warriors. Like they can carry healers. They just do a lot of damage. Mages with like a... I mean, you could carry like an undergear rogue, I would think. Like a really good mage. Want to see warrior? Yo, you should have seen some warriors on the U, man. Earlier in the week, yesterday. Should have seen some warriors over on the EU. Alright, let's get Night King in here with Chicago. Or my lord? Wait, Night King, is the group ready? I kind of want to let Night King's group play. I mean, we can do my lord if Night King isn't ready. But let me know, boys. Because Night King's group, only Seavark really got to play, I believe. 4 out of 5? Okay, I guess we could do Malord versus Chicago. I'd rather have more mobility and less heal on red. Even damage, I think, is too much. Really? More mobility, less healing, and less damage. That'd be interesting. Yeah, more mobility will allow you to just stay on the target. That would be more sustained damage. How do we join the duel team? You go through LFG, boys. We have a pin in the chat, but if you want to join in, you go player versus player, premier group, custom PvP, find a group. Top 5, enter in the search for Alliance and or Horde to see if there's a group available. Or if you want to make your own group, you guys can always do that. Start a group called something like 5V5 1v1 DUELS. Add me on Real ID, and you're good to go. Once you have a 5-man, add me on Real ID, Dalaran hashtag 1340. You can always ask if you need to know what it is. And I add you once you have a 5-man, and I queue you against somebody else. There's a good Venti or Night Fame. That's pretty decent. One thing about this, Arcane is a 1v1 spec. If that was a 3s match, it would be doing like 200k damage a period of time. I could see that, because you do get quite a bit of kites. Alright, let's get Milord in here, and Chicago. This Night King, we're still waiting for him to get the groups together. Darren Seward, boys. Let's go. How about a double DPS? Ooh, I don't know. Double DPS, I guess if you want to make classic carriers double DPS, I would say Fire Mage maybe. Or Sub-Rogue. Because you got lots of CC, lots of damies. Might be able to combine some together, you know what I mean? Alrighty, boys. Let's get another duel up and running for today. I gotta sneeze so bad. It's gonna hit me at some point. Twitch. What do we have? We got ourselves team 2 with Chicago playing more of that elemental chamois. We got in the back Wargren. Swapping back to, actually, no, I was gonna say swapping back to survival, but still sticking to marksman. Peachy is a boomy with 2 rogues. You got ourselves Baroque in here as well as DV. Plox, you got that Amish thing going on there. Okay, not bad, not bad. He's playing the Night Fae rogue too. Sub rogue. No, DV is actually assassination. What? No way, dude. I'm actually very interested how that's gonna go. We got ourselves team 1 with Ink. We got ourselves Milord Pala. Looks like he's gonna be first up. You see him getting thrown out from the pipe. We got ourselves Merc. We got ourselves Inky. We got ourselves Monkey. If you guys want to hang out by that set of stairs next to the pipe, that would be a pretty decent spot to hang out in. It looks like DV Pox is gonna give a bit of an honor duel too. Yeah, boy, Milord Pala. Playing the Night Fae Sub-Rogue, that would be, I mean, assassination, that will be very, very interesting to see. This is going to be swapping out to Wound Poison, Crippling Poison against a Retribution Paladin. I'm actually very interested. No, he actually swapped out to Numbing Poison at the last second. You guys weren't paying attention. I do wonder if it's worth. You're not going to be able to de-enrage Milord Pala, but slowing down the cast, slowing down the autos, might not be the worst, although I've always valued the slows, but with the Paladin, Hand of Freedoms, you're not really going to slow him, really, are you? That's going to be very interesting here. Waiting for an opener, waiting for that Consecration Sap comes out. Is he playing that 100% crit Lego too? It'd actually be nutty. Assassination Rogues, boys. We don't see those guys ever. So this would be very interesting. Is he going to be able to maybe Shadow Step? No, might actually have to go for a little bit of a longer game. No, runs in. Garrote onto... No, maybe not even a Garrote. Looks like Consecration did get him out somehow. Very unfortunate. Evasion versus Milord Pala. Really early evasion usage right now. But maybe it'll work out for him. As Milord continuing to Kai the rogue. Doesn't want to fight a rogue with evasion on at all. Maybe DV will be able to use this to get a reset. Walking him into Consecration again. Kidney shot does come out by the rogue as he's finally able to get some dots in there. It's going to go for the Night Fae ability with quite a bit of lethal poison in there. Going to be some big heals available from Lord Pala though as the rogue is dropping in kind of lowish on health blind. Lord Pala does go for tricking. Could be a vanish shot of the rogue. It looks like he does get seated. What? The what? A single one shot took down the pod. Well, I'm not gonna lie, I was actually very excited to see a an assassination rogue in these duels. But I guess that didn't work, did it? Alright, who's gonna be up next? Is it gonna be Peachy? It might be Peachy. Nope, maybe he's backing up. He's like, no, not me. Nope, not me. Or maybe? I think it is going to be Peachy. Super unfortunate with that rogue, man. Never really got an opener. And he literally got, his pod got one shot with a wake of ashes, right? His pod got one shot with a wake of ashes. The pod literally didn't even stand a chance. He got slammed, and then a wake of ashes came out, and that was over. Super extremely unfortunate there, guys. Very unfortunate. We don't even know what Lego he ran. No boy never got to even press Vendetta. Oh no, you left now too. Oh, yo, Team Lord, can you guys go stand on another set of stairs that's not near a box, by the way? Kind of like opposite of what the other team is doing, yeah? If you guys could do that, that'd be better. Just because those guys are probably going to have to play around the pillar anyway. Probably going to have to do that. Hodge onto Peachy as Milord Pala, trying to play it very, very defensively. Still maintaining his health as best as possible. Actually going for last verdicts here and there. Peachy should have plenty of self-heals available if necessary. He's going to get a knockback onto Milord Pala with some Inkar, and big star surge is coming out, but looks like Milord Pala got plenty of self-heals to work with here. Even had to go for a Flash of Light. Why does Flash of Light heal for less than Word of Glory? That seems a little unfair. Going to be Peachy swapping out the Swarm back to Bash onto Milord Pala. Do they have enough resources? Trying to get some Fury in there. With a Shield of Edits available from Milord Pala. Does pop into Bear form. Going to be big damage on Milord. As the Wings is available, Shield of Edits does not proc onto Peachy. Peachy trying to see if he might be able to get away from the Paladin. Just trying to bail out of there. Catch a couple more, a couple of regrowths in there. Good regrowth crit on him, actually. Cyclone to Milord Pala does force the get out of the Paladin. Thorns available. Does the Paladin keep slamming? Looks like the Paladin is just continuing to slam damage into Peachy, knowing well. He's got plenty of self-heals. And even while Wings are up, that he uses Word of Glory, he's still doing AoE damage, by the way. With the, it's not a final verdict, it's something else. It's that, not an on-talent. Talent in the final row, every time you spend Holy Power while Wings is up, it does extra Holy damage in the AoE around you. So whether it is Holy Power spent for Word of Glories or Templars, he's still doing AoE healing. Even when he's, or AoE damage, even when he's healing. It's actually kind of nuts. Peachy trying to get some resources up onto Milord Pala. Does have him kind of low. Word of Glory away from topping himself off. Peachy definitely has a hell of a game. Barskin and Thorn comes out as he gets in with a Hodge, which is a perfect opportunity. Milord doesn't look like he goes for a Belf Racial. Maybe he doesn't have it. To try to see if he can clean Thorns. Taking a bit of damage from those Thorns. Having to use a lot of that Holy Power, full Word of Glory. He's keeping himself alive and healthy. Knockback coming out for Peachy. Trying to go for a Cyclone, but Milord Pala hugs the wall to create some line of sight. And it looks like Peachy is going to have to get super crazy mobility far, far away from Milord Pala. Just try to see if he can sprint out of there. Hodge by Milord. Barksdale for Peachy. Maybe last time it wasn't Barksdale. Maybe it was just Thorns. Just pre-thorn himself. It's going to have to play defensively while in bear form, though. Definitely have to go for more Frenzy Regeneration. 5 minutes into this duel. Milord Pala is just continuing to slam final verdicts back to back into Peachy. Roar comes out, but it doesn't hold long. Looks like the dots break Milord Pala out. Does get hit with a bash. Does Peachy maybe have something to work with? He does have plenty of resources by the looks of it. Looks like he should have quite a lot of Fury available. And if he's able to get himself into an Eclipse, he might be able to make a play here. Does get an Eclipse. Hodge coming up with Milord Pala. Trinket for Peachy. Getting those Star Starters back to back. His Wings is available for Milord Pala, though. So he should have a lot of self-heals available. Big toll on to Peachy. Looks like the damage from the Paladin's taking a toll on Peachy. Trinkets out of that Cyclone. Peachy under a lot of pressure. Frenzy Regen still keeping him alive, though. But Pala still got them Wings. Those last verdicts are doing a lot of damage. One more necessary. And down goes the Druid from the Rogue into the Druid. 6 minutes into the duel. And where's the dampening for us? It is at 8%. Chicago is going to give Milord Pala a bit of an honor duel here by the looks of it. Mounted up and kind of just waiting for him to get a bit of a reset here. Going for a big old Dragon Roar. That's a nice Drake. That is a very nice Drake. Actually, looks like he's going to go for maybe a Transmog. Is that what's going on? Maybe going for a gear repair. He's waiting for Milord. Oh, he actually did shit his Mog. The important things, boys. Changing Mogs while inside the duels. There it is. Now he's ready. You didn't think he was ready? Now he's ready. Hodge Chicago. As Milord Pala gonna get their opener. Big proc with Soul onto Chicago. And Chicago might have to wall this here. Is gonna have to go for a what looked like a potentially. Wait, did he just use? Can Elemental Shamans use Primordial Bolt on themselves for a heal, by the way? Because that's what kind of looked like. It looked like he might have used that on himself for a heal. Fleshcraft coming out. Looks like Pally might end up interrupting. No, just trying to see if he can burn through the shield. Hex coming out. Going to get a Hodge on Chicago. Does wall this with an Earth Shield available. And Chicago might need to look at some self-heals available. Milord Pala does have a Rebuke, so you can interrupt Chicago, so better be very, very careful on which spell he casts. Stormkeeper should be available. Milord Pala does have a bubble available for himself. With that Shield of Vengeance does bail away from Chicago to get himself a bit of a reset. And Chicago's Fire Elemental looks like it's gone, or did it walk over to Milord Pala? Oh, it did walk over to Milord Pala. It's kind of hard to keep track of that because there's so many people by the box. Normally there's not that many. Chicago waiting now for Milord Pala. I don't know what he's waiting for. Is it DC'd? Nope. Maybe he was waiting for him to find a good position to just get a knockback on the guy. Hard to tell. Maybe not. I'm not sure what happened there. But Chicago finds himself super low in health. Stone into Malord Pala. Chicago's in a really bad situation. Does go for a lasso onto Pala, who is going to go for a trinket. And Chicago really needs some self-heals available. That reach of Malord Pala with the final verdict, the last verdict, that's just so much damage. As he just slamming those hammers right into Chicago. Not in a good spot at all. One more hammer, that's all it takes. I think Chicago's Earth Shield might have actually been cleansed off. He needs to get an Earth Shield back up and running. That's the only thing that's really keeping him alive. Gonna get a stun onto Malord Pala, but does get the final verdict in there either way. One more verdict. Who's up next? Either gonna be Wargren or Broken. One of those two is gonna have to go up against Malord Pala at the 8-minute mark. Malord Pala poking the team, trying to figure out who's actually up. Who's playing next? Is it Broken? I feel like Broken barely got to play. You look like Wargren is just chilling. Yeah, I think he's waiting for Broken. I think Broken is the guy that's supposed to be next. I guess we'll have to wait and see. Yeah, while lags sometimes badly. That's unfortunate. That's a big unfortunate. Calling down Malord 1v5, man. That'd be interesting. Down goes Vinruki. Yeah, big unfortunate. Yeah, Wargren might have to go next. He's waiting for Broken. No, Broken's back. Broken is back. Merle at least lets him get a reset. Finally, the Rogue gets a chance to play, dude. Finally, the Rogue gets a chance. Playing that sub, opening up with a kidney shot onto Malord Pala, trying to make some damage happen. Bob coming out immediately. And Broken getting hit with a Hodge. This is going to have to take the damage to the face. Nobody's available for Malord Pala. So Broken might just be able to kind of reset this. Get himself a sippy cup. That's going to be that port. Looks like he's actually not Kyrian. He has a weapon from the Kyrian. Oh, what just happened? Wait, the Rogue literally got one shot. I thought the Rogue was A-okay, and then Malord Pala just popped off out of nowhere. What was that damage? Wait a second. What? That Rogue deleted. I don't understand that. I mean, I think I understand what happened to the first Rogue. His pod literally got one shot. And now that second Rogue just got one shot. Was that some kind of a crazy proc or something? Resonant Era coming out for Wargren as Malord is chasing after him. Has he been saving that burst this whole time? Is going to go for big damage onto Malord. Hodges to Wargren. He trinkets out of it. Freezing trap onto Malord. Trinkets out of it back. Knocked back onto the Pala, but should be able to catch up on some heals either way. What was that? Divine Toll happened? Is that what that was? Just a crazy good proc with Divine Toll? I believe it. Honestly, I believe it. Some freebie damage for Wargren as he gets a binding shot on Malord Pala. Does have Shield of Vengeance to keep him alive, though. And is going to turn the attention onto the pet, getting some kind of holy power from one way or another. As Wargren is going to have to cut him in circles. Wargren had this kind of situation with Malord Pala before, but the dampen was way higher. So at least you were able to whittle down the Paladin over time. But this time, I don't know how well this is going to work out. The explosive shot felt like it didn't do anything. Maybe he would have gloried as it happened. What was that? He came in with a 10k auto attack? Wait, Malord Pala? How would you get a 10k auto? You sure? That's kind of nutty. What? 10k auto? I actually want to see that. If you actually have the 10k auto, if you have a screenshot, I would love to see it. Going to be Resonant Arrow for Wargren, getting big rapid fire with an explosive shot onto Malord Pala, get him kind of low. Malord Pala goes for a cast in front of the Hunter. He'll be in a bad spot. Word of Glory is coming out. Does get a stun onto the pet, which is a very, very interesting interaction, by the way. Wargren going for a big old knockback. Malord Pala has massive wings available. And Wargren is going to have to go for a bit of a reset himself by the looks of it. Got himself trap set up, mounted up, expecting for Malord Pala to maybe run to one trap or the other. Freezing trap, subs the Paladin in his tracks for a minute. He's going to allow a binding shot for Wargren. Does he have any kind of damage after? He's going to go for rapid fire with some line of sight ahead of time. Scatter shot following that. That's going to be a big toll available for Malord Pala with Turtle for Wargren. Yeah, I would actually... I'm going to send the screenshot how I done in Discord. Sounds good. I actually would want to see it. I want to see that 10k auto. Going to be a Hodges Wargren. Trick us out of a feint. Death onto the damage. That's going to be Wargren. Kind of low on health. Does go for the probably last Exil of the game. Unless you can figure out a way to defeat Malord Pala here. Malord still holding on to a bubble and a lot of defenses, so I don't really know what you can do there. That's kind of crazy. That was actually a 10k auto. I do want to see that. Freezing trap on Malord Pala does have a double tap available if he has any kind of setup. Resonant shot, maybe with a binding. Resonant shot comes out. Is trying to see if he can maximize the range. Rapid fire coming out. That's going to be shield of Venus available. Does get the shield to explode next to War Grid. That is going to be feign death available either way though. Scatter shot onto Malora Paladin. More rapid fires for War Grid. Trying to see if he might be able to defeat the Paladin in one way or another. Binding shot, but the Hand of Freedom keeps him alive. Does get the trinket rolling too. That could be a lot of damage. Big toll. And that's going to be a massive slam by Malora Paladin at the very end. I really do want to know what the hell did he do to these rogues. I'm actually very, very interested in what he did to those rogues, dude. I want to know. I really want to know. Wait, we actually got to check a look at the chat. We got to take a look at it together. Hold on. Hold on. That'll be very, very interesting. Let me save that first. And we got a screenshot, I think. Here we go. Oh, Athel. What's up, man? How you doing, my dude? Discord doing its thing, maybe? Hold on, I got a message from Atha first, and then we'll peep the screenshot. But Discord is loading, taking a second. Message failed to load. Try again. Try again, Discord. Go again. Called the 1v5, probably. Honestly, I think you did, Aaron, actually. If I scroll up the chat, you probably did. Absolutely disgusting. That is a lot of damies. Alright, let's see if we can find it. Is that an auto? That looks like actually was a 10k auto. So it was a Crusader strike, an auto, and then an auto for 9,400. Wait, that was actually a big auto. What? Did he actually get a crit with an auto attack or something? Huh. Was this rogue verse? Good question. Huh. Good question. This can cause big auto hits. Oh. Aura of Reckoning. When you and your allies on Aura are critically struck, you gain Reckoning. At 50 stacks of Reckoning, your next weapon swing deals 250% increased damage. It will critical strike. In addition, it activates Crusade for 6 seconds. Or Revenge and Wrath. What? Is that what killed him? Yo, that's huge. Aura of Reckoning seems kind of OP. That's a free 10k hit. That's like a third of someone's health. A little less, but still. That's a lot of damage. Or 9k hit. That's pretty massive though. Wow. The more you know. The more you know. 5-5 ready, my lord? Alright, man. Let's see if Night King is ready or something. Paladin nerf rogue, lol. Dude, those rogues got messed up, man. Let's get Night King if he's ready with Chicago. I want to give those rogues a chance, man. 25% Versa? Man, through 25% Versa. That's like a 12.5% damage reduction. That's a 12% DR. I guess 12% DR isn't that high. My Covenants is carrying? That's crazy, dude. What happened to the rogue? He got blasted. I think your Reckoning hit him, dude. My group died, lol. Aw, unfortunate, King. Yeah, Batha, your message isn't loading for me for some reason. But I can see what you were trying to, what is it? I think you were linking me the Aura Reckoning. I didn't realize that was a thing. That's another reason why I really need to get a Paladin up and running as my next ult. Oh, now it loaded. Okay, thank you. You can give me big auto hits. That's why I need a Paladin, dude. That's why I need a Paladin, man. I need a big Pally. What is this? Oh, it's an interview. Okay. We don't just see an interview. But the guys in the guild, a big dumb guild. They're just the big and they're dumb. No, they're probably really cool dudes. I don't know any of them though. Just making jokes here. Oh man, how are you, my friend? Hope you're having a good one, Atha. Yeah, dude, that's crazy. That was actually kind of crazy. I didn't realize that Rogue died that quick. What hit you? That was a big hitter. Actually, I'm gonna have to relook at that. 2 rogues, man. It just got blasted out of the universe. That would explain it though. That massive auto. It would be interesting if that druid was feral though. Which one? The Boomy? Maybe. I kind of like watching boomies though. Like when they're not the, I mean the Convoke boomies are pretty funny too. I feel like this way every druid. I wonder if Convoke druid is going to be less good in PvP after that Convoke nerf Tuesday. I mean, it's only taken out New Moon out of that rotation and Feral Frenzy. Maybe it'll make the other playstyles a little better, but we'll see, right? Will be better than Feral. I think Feral's is still pretty good, but yeah, boomies are pretty nutty right now. There's the massive moons they can do, but even after this, there will just be more Star Surges, I think. And I think it'll still be a lot of damage, and it'll still probably be 2v1 players, just less of that cheese New Moon. You know what I mean? I feel like a Houdini makes the help disappear. True, true. Alrighty, boys, so I guess we only have Milord in Chicago. I guess we can have him another go. Probably Milord might have to go last or something so the rest of his team can actually get a chance to play. You know what I mean? Might have to do that. But Night King's team fell apart. I think it would help if all these guys like Witch Captain, Seavark, all you guys made basically separate groups. Got some of your boys in there, got some friends or whatever, get some variety in here. But is that what you guys want to stick together? Try again? Okay, we can do that. We go again. Let's try it. Found someone last second. Sound good, sound good. Nerf Milord. Well, Paladin's getting nerfed this Tuesday actually, so technically, yeah, they're actually getting nerf Milord. Buff Outlaw? I'm okay with that, for PvP in particular. Actually, no, I don't know if it's necessary to buff Outlaw. We actually have seen some Outlaws do incredible damage. You know what I mean? Send Pallet to Bliss and then nerf him. The yeah, we gotta get a nerf for on Horror World of Glories this Tuesday. And you disarm pallets from using weapons. True, true. Make it use like staves, wands or something. You know what I mean? Make it use wands instead. He used the final verdict, last verdict legendary, I think it's called. I mean, actually, can I find it? I think you can. Powers. Paladin. Final verdict. Replaces Tempest verdict. Replaces Tempest verdict with final verdict, which is like that WAD talent they had back in the day. A devastating strike that deals slightly more holy damage. Has a range to it, to like a 10-yard range. Has a 50% chance to activate Hammer of Wrath and reset its cooldown. So you can just give a free hammer. So that one's pretty good for Paladins, especially if you like that range. If things are cutting you, this will give you like 10-yard range on that ability. Which is pretty good, and it's holy damage, right? It's pure holy, it's a little bit more damage. But it gives you like a couple different things. So it's a ranged hammer that you could throw. Gives you a range in the ability, slightly more holy damage. I don't know how much damage the normal Tempest Verdict does, but yeah. I do wonder if we'll find more builds with legendaries and such in the future. I do hope we try stuff. Others are arcane PvP, but they need so much CD to ramp up so much time. They need so much CD to ramp up. I think you just need a right roll the bones buff. Like, all those can do as much burst setup as like sub rogues. It's not same CC of like Dan's, but you just burn a vanish, which you'll get back faster anyway. So they're really not bad. Still sad about poor enhancement ones. Ellie on the main Shammy at the moment, but still missing good old BC enhancements. Oh no, dude. Oh no. What do you think is best for Red Pala? So I don't know what's actually the best. People usually end up running defensive legendaries, but that one seems pretty good. Like a lot of Palas seem to run that. Like it seems pretty decent. But I can see someone running, let's say, like Ardent Protector for a defensive. No, not that one. Reign of the Endless King. So 45 seconds, you get, what is it? At 20% health, you get 50% DR with Guardian of Ancient Kings. That could be interesting. All the bones and dice and all that stuff. So you don't actually need to get Slice and Dice before you start doing bursts. You can just roll the bones in the opener before you open, because you can use it before opening a target. Go for a cheap shot or a kidney shot and go for your burst combo immediately. You only slice. You don't need Slice and Dice for your burst. You only need Slice and Dice at some point in the arena after you're done doing burst damage. Привет, Dalaran, здорово, no sleep, has done, man. Здорово, как дела? 12-on arena, man. We got a big one. We got a long arena. Alrighty, boys. Let me save that one. Actually, I think I already saved. Let's go into the next one, man. Let's go into the next one. Which who do we have? We got ourselves team 1 with... We got ourselves Ink on that team with Icky as a fire mage. We got ourselves Shadowbolt as well as... Shadowbolt or I Burst. One of those two. Wait, hold on. Oh, okay. Burst is a little higher. Shadow Bolt down below, as well as we got Milord Palo on the team. With a couple of rogues here. We got us a Chicago with also Ghostmane as an arms warrior coming in with a spear. We got DV as an assassination. Oh, actually, yeah, Divapox. Wait, Divapox is subtlety this time. Okay, and it's going to be Demon Poison's assassination. Interesting. We're going to go back to that survival playstyle. Good luck and have fun, everybody. I do like the varieties we're starting to get. You know, Shadow Priest, Boomy on the other team, assassination, back to the survival. We got an arms warrior. We actually saw an arms warrior do incredibly well on the EU side of the gameplay early in the week. Going to be a big old breath by Iki in the opener on to Chicago. And it's going to try to go for G-Pie. Iki, seeing Chicago Trinket, is going to go for Mirza Torment. Actually, that's going to be grounding that stopped it by the looks of it. Yeah, it looks like grounding stopped that. Mirza Torment, that's a pretty long CD that Ike is going to see anytime soon. And Chicago is going to have to go for a bit of a shield. Does have the elemental available into an interrupt on the Polymorph. Looks like Ring of Frost isn't going to happen. Polymorph still does come out. The Fire Ellie getting a big meat here and actually burning through all the shields of Ike, doing quite a bit of damage to his health bar. I don't know if Ike is paying attention. He's going to get his shields up immediately. Chicago can dispel the shields very, very quickly and easily, though. Should definitely be going for the shield dispels ASAP to start burning damage into Ike's health bar. Chicago is taking some damage themselves, trying to go for a Ring of Frost, but looks like they denied it. For a second, Chicago catching up on some heals. Needs to make some damage to that bar of Iki, and he actually has the perfect way to stop Iki from getting some heals. Good Pyroblast coming out for the Fire Mage. Big combustion to follow, and Chicago might have to find a way to deal with this. Grounding Totem does come out. Iki does realize what's going on there last second. Does have his combustion dispelled. The lasso trinketed out of by the Mage. Chicago interrupted him on fire. All the shields are gone. Does go for a zap at least. And Iki is going to use that mobility with the Vent Deer to teleport out of there. What kind of a soulbind is he running for mages, by the way? I'm actually very interested when he's playing the Vent Deer mage. Very interested what kind of a setup he's going for. Breath on Chicago. Ike trying to go for a Polymorph from a distance into a great Pyroblast from afar. Chicago's just going to have to take the damage to the face of the Meteor. Does have grounding. Grounding I don't think really stops the Meteor. So I don't know if that grounding really even stopped anything. It looks like Chicago just caught up on a bunch of health just from a self-heal. Interrupt Chicago on that Shadow Cast does allow Ike to get those fireballs in there, though. Going for that Mirror's Torment. Chicago is going to send a Pyroblast chucked out there either way. And Chicago needs to realize, few casts, and they're just going to get silenced and interrupted and rooted. So might just be able to AFK it out. Does drop in Earth Elemental to give himself a little bit of better defensive in case Ike really pushes in onto the Shaman. But the Shaman is looking okay for now. Mirror's Torment should be falling off sometime soon, I would hope. They're there for quite a while, though. Door of Shadows, as the mage looking to reposition, doesn't really go right at Chicago. He kind of goes on the side. Is going to get that interrupt onto Chicago with a breath into a Ring of Frost. Trying to go for a G-Pie. The Earth Elemental. Wait, it's going to be a trinket out of Chicago instead. Does interrupt the fire damage onto Iki. Is going to go for some zaps in there. Lava Burst to follow. Lasso right after Iki. Taking quite a bit of damage here. Could potentially be a big defense. So massive Earth Shot getting Iki's health super low. Could be an Ice Block scene right here. Interrupted on fire. Really bad situation for Iki. Fire shock is on him. Flame shock is on him. Is gonna maybe get him over that edge. Is gonna get cauterized and ice block all at once for Chicago. This is a beautiful, beautiful sight. Two big defenses used out of Iki. It looks like I figured out what Covenant Iki is running. He's running the Night Gem by the looks of it. Looks like that's what he's playing at the moment. Hex coming out for Chicago. At least trying to get a Hex off of Iki. It looks like he's not going to be able to do it for now. We're going to have to wait it out. Lasso into Iki. Does go for a trinket out of the lasso. And Chicago got some massive, massive defenses out of the mage. The mage is bailing out to a whole another zip code. And Chicago goes for the Ghost Wolf with a Fire Elemental. Should be able to swing the Fire Elemental on one side. He goes on the other. Does have grounding on the other corner. In case he needs to slow into Iki. And Iki looking to go for maybe a Mirza Torment here. Does he get it set up? He does get it set up. Chicago refusing to do any kind of cast. And Iki kind of has Chicago in a tough spot. This is where Chicago, I guess, he just has to AFK out until Iki's Mirrors of Torment are disappeared. Because you could go casting into silence yourself. Or I guess you could just wait it out. If only Chicago has some kind of damage that you could do with melee, right? As an elemental shaman. They didn't have the Primal Strike, but if only that thing actually did some damage. Imagine getting silence, you just turn around and start kind of bonking someone over the head with a Primal Strike. Lasso as a Ring of Frost comes out. Ike's shields do get burned off. Chicago should be able to maybe Oh, landing a hex on AK. If he can only catch up and clean AK off completely of the shields, he will be in a really good spot, but he's kind of stuck in a Nova. Had a zap ready and casting, but it looks like the zap never went through. Is going to go for a trinket, interrupt him on fire. AK does get the polymorph either way and should be able to go for another poly. Actually going for a frostbolt. I guess try to get a slow into Chicago with a blink from a distance as Lava Burst trying to come out for Chicago. It looks like he's not going to be able to do much. That frostbolt actually did slow the shaman quite a bit though. Surprise, surprise. Actually quite a bit of a slow. You don't really see mages going for like a frostbolt for a slow that often. But when they do, it's kind of cool. Try to go for a Stormkeeper. Does get the grounding in case AK goes for an interrupt. And that should be a pretty big zap for Chicago. Lightning Lasso onto AK. Might be able to knock him away from the pillar. And maybe go for big zaps into his hell bar. Zaps come out. The shields are back up, though. Is going to have some of those shields absorb some of the damage going on. Chicago does go for the lava burst, getting into AK's health. As long as he tags the health bar, he's in a good spot. As long as he can just clean the shields while AK's health bar is low, he's in a good spot. And it's going to be kind of rough, especially when you have big zaps available. But he kind of needs to. G-Pike getting set up by AK, has combustion as well as Meteor with the Mirrors of Torment. Going to put a lot of stress and pressure onto Chicago. He does go for a grounding totem, but there's nothing to really ground. You can't ground a Meteor. You're just going to slam into the ground. You literally can't ground a Meteor. You can ground lightning, you can ground fireballs, but the massive, massive Meteor, not much you can do there. And it looks like Chicago ended up going for at least one heal while Mirrors was up. 6 minutes into this duel. AK has shields back up. But as long as Chicago can walk in and just spell seal or just spell purge all those shields, he'll be in a good spot. Going for the lasses before the shields are down. I understand you're trying to go for like CC chain, making sure the mage doesn't get a CC chain on you, but I just feel like you do need to go for purges immediately. Getting hit with a big old Jeep, Chicago should be able to get quite a bit of heal. Trying to purge those shields as best as possible, but the purge does have like a 30-yard range compared to the rest of it casts at a 40 yards. So you do have to be kind of sort of close-ish to the guy in order to be able to get all your CC, all your purges out. Chicago getting hit with another breath. Is Ziki gonna go for another G-Pie? Nope. Trying to let a polymorph, getting interrupted on the poly. And Chicago trying to get this purges. Ring of Frost might CC him. Got the fire elemental already. Should be able to ground the next go. Lightning Lasso into the health bar of AK, which is exactly what he wants out of it. With Lava Burst to follow right, Primordial Ball. That's the damage he wants to see. Just ride it straight into the Hellbar Vicky. Get a big lava burst to follow. Polymorph coming out. Missing the Meteor. Does get interrupting AK on fire. Doesn't get the shields for a second. He needs shields. Does get the Ice Block. This game has been going on for so long. He actually got the Ice Block back up. It's going to be a long one for Chicago. Definitely going to be a long game as AK is going to get cauterized at some point. Shields are back up. Does he go for a grounding? He has grounding. Mirrors of Torment trying to come out. Does drop a grounding in case. And there goes the opportunity for him to catch up and dispel all those shields. But the Nova stop him in place. Just needs a little bit more damage. Keeping the dot. There goes the lasso. Does he get the Lava Burst right after? If he gets any kind of good procs off this could be huge for him. Goes for a Frost Check to slow the mage down a little. Has him so close to cauterize. Oh, not even available right now. If he does the damage right now, missing the breath, juking the breath completely. Shields are back up. Doesn't interrupt him on Torment. Combustion coming out. Needs even more purges. And there goes Combustion getting purged. Azika's health bar is completely exposed. Lava Burst does take him out at the end. Oh my goodness. He had to play the long game there. It was a long 7-minute, almost 8-minute game. But Chicago played that one really, really well. You have to, as a mage, make 0 mistakes if you want to win this. Even as a shaman, you have to make 0 mistakes and just continue playing it. Just keep going. Just keep trying. It's just a never-ending battle against the mage. Big zaps over for Chicago. Does have the big earth wall available from the earth elemental. Lightning Lasso short though. But it's going to be Ear Ink doing some damage back to Chicago. Does he get the Hex off though? He does get the Hex. Chicago's super low on health. Zuen might be able to chomp him down. It looks like Zuen is going to be able to take him out. With DV Pox up next. Getting an opener onto Ink, but it's going to be Giga Diard. Blind onto Ink as DV Pox going for a bit of a reset. It looks like he might have to go for a full reset with a sap. He went in with a cheap shot maybe a little too early. He went in with Shadow Blades immediately, not even looking at DRs. It looks like that saps are actually super DR. Cheap shot, Trink coming out for Ink immediately. Seeing the row go for big damage. Karma coming out for the Eviscerate. And DV got himself evasion and Cloak of Shadow, just trying to use everything against the Monk. Ring of Peace comes out for Ink. Doesn't have good karma, so he's going to have a hard time. He's just going to have a hard time recovering health against a rogue. Shadow Strike from around the bend. Leg sweep onto DV. Does have a human ration for it. Still continue to get this Eviscerates. Another set of dances and more Eviscerates to follow. And looks like there's going to be a backstab that's taking him out at the very end as DV going in for a bit of a reset himself. Who's up next in the other enemy team? It's got eye burst. We got a Milord Palace, Shadow Bolt. This is going to be a pretty high dampening game. So actually, the team too, with double Rogue, Warrior, and Survival Hunter, might actually stand a chance toe to toe. It looks like it's going to be team hybrid for team 2 though, or team 1. But who's going to be up next? Is it Shadow Bolt? Looks like it is going to be eye burst. So Rogue, you're going up against a Boomy. He's in stealth, so you should be able to see him. Diva Pox does come out with a bit of that mount gameplay here. Convokes the Spirits coming in with eye burst, though didn't get the burst, even though that's in his name. Sorcerer still come out with the weight. Actually, I think he just convoked the guy. I think the convoke strat worked. Demon Poison is going to be up next as a Rogue. Assassination versus eye burst is going to force a Barskin out of a burst that early. Does hit him with a Garrote. No bash available. Getting the dots up and running. Getting the shot to follow. And it's going to go for the Night Fae ability as Demon Poison's trying to get himself some damage rolling. At least he got some dots up and running. He's going to use the Soul Shape ability in order to blink over to Eye Burst. He's going to hit him with at least Venom. He needs to maintain the bleeds, but also maintain the Slice and Dice rolling too if he wants to have a chance against the Druid. Hopefully he's playing Wound Poison in order to deal with some of the healing. Or maybe this late into the game you could go into Deadly Poison, really. But the Rogue is just relentless. Another killer shot available. Does he go for the big go here? Trying to make the Envenoms happen here. Vendetta comes out for that massive hit. That's going to be a bash by a burst. Trinket out of the Rogue, just being a little bit impatient. Saw a bash out of the Druid in the cycle and he thought, you know what? I have to burn a Trinket here. I have to take him out. Went for a vanish immediately. Not sure who he's going up against, whether it's Milord or Shadow Bolt. But decided to go for a reset immediately. Probably didn't have to. Probably could have waited a little bit longer. Find out, maybe they'll let him catch a reset or something. It looks like it's going to be Milord Pala up next. Retribution versus Assassination. We saw a game like that earlier. Saw a game like that literally last game. But let's see if this Assassination Rogue has a chance. Looks like the eyes picked up by Milord is going to get the killer shot onto the Paladin. Hodge coming in and Milord is looking, I think, just one shot the Rogue out of it. Big troll setup. Going to be a blind into Pala. That's going to be a Shadow Meld, but no, the AoE, but the Paladin takes the Rogue out. That is a bop used by Milord, though. If maybe somehow Ghostmane could just get in there as an Arms Warrior and do big damage, blow his Arms Warrior load, big damage available, he might be able to do it. That's Forbearance. Is going to get a parry avatar available. Does go for a massive War Breaker into a lockdown onto Milord Pala. Try to Blaze Storm next to him. He just needs to get his health low enough. Shield of is breaking through that pretty quickly. Leaping towards Milord Pala. Chickens out of it. Milord actually still cannot bubble for a little bit. Fear into Milord. Stops him in place. Does he get the big Executive? Does something to Milord? Does he get the bubble here? He needs the bubble. Otherwise, the Warrior I think has him. Does Soul Shape next to him. Milord Pala might have the bubble back up by now. Unless Ghostmane charge, no charge available, has Reflect in case Milord Pala does go for a Hodge. Looks like he's just going to wait out the Reflect and catch up on all that heals. Bubble definitely available for the Paladin at this point. Ghostmane actually had so much damage saved up, so much damage ready. And that would have been the kill because Forbearance was up. But now Milord Pala could just take this game a little bit slower, catch up on all the heals. Hodge and Ghostmane, since no trick is available. If somehow Ghostmane can just surprise him though, he might be able to do something. He's going to have to play this defensively. But he's going to have to get some cooldowns together. He's going to have to do something. Maybe get an interrupt on the cast or something. His Kipsune could just try to charge, but he's slowed constantly. In defensive stance, trying to see if he can deal with it. Reflect available. Does get a disarm to Milord Pala. Find himself super low in health. Maybe he has a pod. Maybe if he can somehow get a fear as he dies in a pod. Get a resurrected with a pod. He'll basically cheat death there. But it looks like he's in a really, really weird, tough spot. It looks like Milord Pala should be able to take him out. Ghostmane does continue to get in some heals. Looks like he's playing Impending Victory. It looks like he's not playing the pod either. Interesting. Worgen trinketing out of that setup by Milord Pala. Resonant Era comes out as a survival, tossing them nades, trying to make the most damage happen here. As the pet also closes the gap, Milord Pala. Shield of Vengeance is available for the Paladin. Still hold on to bubble if necessary. Worgen does got a harpoon towards Milord Pala, but in a single global, half his health disappears. Freezing Trap onto Milord. Trinkets out of it immediately. Worgen is under a lot of pressure now. He just has to kite Milord Pala at 53% dampening. Looks like Milord is still recovering a lot of health. I guess there is wings up for him, so there is a lot of defensive capability here. A lot of self-heal capability with the wings. But it's just still a lot of recovery. 54% dampening, boys. What is that? Oh, no. Milord Pala getting a Hodge into Worgen. Does he have the damage to do this? He might. Does he have the Reckoning stacks? He might be able to. Feign Death coming out for Worgen with a Feign Death. Freezing Trap dropped onto Milord Pala's feet. Catching up on a bit of self-heals himself as well. Missing that other trap, but this is going to be able to get a stun to Miller Pala, get himself the resonant shot, should be able to get some freebie damage in through the wall. Miller Pala is going to be under a bit of pressure. We are at 58% dampening, so it's going to be quite a bit. Harpooning towards Miller Pala at the very last second, try to get some of those raptor strikes in there too. As he's continuing to lay a set of traps for Milord, keeping his health low, trying to catch up on heals here and there. Feels bad being arms with red mobility is a huge issue. I feel like arms warriors can dumpster red paladins if you properly execute your burst. Like the amount of damage arms warriors have is actually ungodly. Plus he also had forbearance. So I feel like Miller Paladin ended up getting quite decent kites there for that duel against the warrior. Like really decent kites. Miller Paladin getting interrupted into a bubble coming now. It looks like the interrupt didn't really matter for the bubble, or the interrupt ends up being very, very short. Worgen harpooning towards the... Did it harpoon towards the Shadow Priestess now? Trying to see if he can escape out of the Paladin's range for a second. I like that harpoon play. I think it's interesting. Trying to do what he could to get out of there. That was rough though. Miller coming in with 3 kills. Iki actually had to do quite a bit of damage to Chicago. But that game went towards the Elemental Shaman that time. At least there's that. That's Carrying Arrow. Yep. That's Resonating Shot. It lets you go like do damage to the wall, which is an interesting mechanic. Alrighty, boys. I think we're gonna call it here. We're not really getting that much variety today, but it's okay. I think everybody that joined in for the duels got a chance to play the 5v5 1v1s. Maybe next week we'll have more variety. Bring your friends, man. Bring your friends, bring your arena partners in here, bring the boys in here, so we can have more 5v5 1v1 bonanza, boys. Also Tuesday, we are gonna get some interesting class changes, so I wonder how that'll affect the 5v5 1v1 duels. Paladins less heals, mages less heals, normal full moons for boomies, as well as normal frenzy brutal slash thing. Donovan, thank you for the don. Appreciate you, my man, for the 5 big EU bones. Can we get a hashtag Donovan in chat? Showing appreciation for the wonderful dono, my man. Appreciate you, my dude. Thank you so much, my guy. Hashtag Donovan boys. Thank you so much. Appreciate you, my man. Milord, pay to win. Complete 17 hours a day to win. What? Pay to win? What do you pay to win? Huh? Hello? Hunter pet buff, yes. Yeah, they're gonna make the hunter pet take less damage. Unholy DK pet may take less damage, and warlock pets take less damage in PvP. This is gonna be good. If you pay $15 a month, you could easily buy gear. What? Is he also gear like BOE? Is that what you're saying? I get if BOE gear does it even give you a lot of hate, a lot of Versa. I really should look into it. I think there's a bracelet with haste Versa that I could use for my rogue. I don't think it was a pay to win really. Everyone gear now if you play my oldest to 20, it no longer requires skill. Or just play 17 hours a day where your gear is so good you can one shot, it no longer requires skill. Huh? I don't understand. Dalaran cool content as always, bro. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, my dude. Or epic content, even better. Thanks so much, my guy. I appreciate you, my man. I appreciate you, my dude. But yep, we gotta call it here, boys. Thank you so much for coming by. Super enjoyable hanging out with all of you in duels. Remember, tomorrow is Sunday. Tomorrow is my day off. We'll come back from Monday with some alt stuff, I think. Have a good one, Dale. You see, let's play some games together sometime, dude. What are you doing? Let's play some games together, my dude. Let's make Outlaw Dream a real thing, dude. I believe in you. I believe in us. I believe in the dream. Next duels are bringing Holy. Sounds good, Isaac. Sounds good, my man. Gear is the main factor in PvP. Yeah, as it should be. That's normal. You good at the game, you get better gear, you get better at the game. Yeah, gear should be a pretty big factor, should it not? I think gear should be. It's an MMO. What do you mean? Pushing 3's been busy, can 2's. Yo, my man, drop them 3's. Drop whoever you're playing with 3's. Make the Outlaw Dream a thing, dude. I believe. I'm joking. I'm fucking with you. Whatever you want to do, man. Skill is minimal relevance, top 3% of the players. What? Skill is of minimal relevance, maybe in top 3 of players. I believe you, Shade. You know why? Because Shade has 2,803s, 100% guarantee in the chat. Shade has the Gladiator rank ones left and right. He knows what he's talking about, boys. Don't worry, don't worry. Good night. Yo, thank you so much, Isaac. Appreciate it, guys. Appreciate you guys so much for coming by. Buff Paladins, right? They got a nerf Tuesday, man. They got a nerf. Everyone has 2,803s now. Not me, dude. Where can I get one of those 2803s? I need at least 2100 so I can upgrade my PvP gear, dude. So I can do better in raiding, man. 100%, dude. 100%. Alrighty, boys. I'll see all of you guys next stream. Alrighty? Alright. Peace.